Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my farming life.
Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to my farming life. I hope you're doing very, very well. You join me today as we are charging the battery on the John Deere because we left something on and it is not starting, which is great. However, we do have a backup plan that's arrived today, which is sitting over here. It's a JCB. It arrived. It's not ours. It's the demo. We wanted a bit later when we had work to do, but it was now or never apparently. So here it is. We're going to have a look into that very shortly with Bungle. I am also finishing off the service of my Massey. We finished off all the ground that we need to drill down the way, and we're just waiting for the beans, really. We're going to put some beans in, and then we'll be heading over to South Healy to finish off over there as well. But progressing well, getting some work done there, but we're just taking the opportunity to service this up, really. Other than that, we're all looking good. It's another beautiful day outside. It's really coming along, and we're looking great, that's for sure. There's another new arrival that we'll be using very soon, so we're going to have a look into that one. But here it is. A JCB. This is fairly new. It's a JCB TM320S. Nice looking bit of kit. Comes with a bucket and a set of forks on the front there as well. Should be interesting to use this, see how we get on with it. And we've only got it for about a week or so, not even. So we'll get a little bit of work done, that's for sure. We won't get a full extent of it, but we've got some muck to shift today and a bit of spreading to do, and we'll give it a good run for itself and see where it goes. Yeah, we haven't really had a pivot steer before, so it'll be interesting to see how that works around our yard with some of the tighter areas. It should be fine in theory, but it'll be interesting. Bungle, what do you think? It's pretty sharp bit of kit over there, isn't it?
Aye, it's kind of impressive, I must say. Never had anything like that before.
No, indeed. Have you had to play in it yet? You must have taken off the lorry, did you?
Aye, just quickly off the lorry. Takes some getting used to, I think, but very interested in it.
I don't think we can afford anything like that anytime soon. It'll be a far cry from what we're using.
Aye, no doubt. I mean, this thing turns on in a minute, which is one thing I was on doing.
Yes, I'm going to blame you for the telehandler there, because I haven't used it in a little bit, so you must have left something on.
Aye, probably me, probably.
I am going to be playing with our other new toy in your tractor today. The battery's on charge for the telehandler, and then we'll be clearing out that muck heap and get going on the bean ground, I think. That's going to be my plan. What are you doing?
Well, not much really. Got to put a few tags in some of the limousine cattle that arrived. Got to do a bit of paperwork, and that's about it really for me today. Until we get the feeding up. Oh well. Sounds good to me. Well, I will leave you to it then. Enjoy. Around the corner here, you'll see the silage pit is getting close to the end. We're getting through our straw as well quite nicely, so that's all plenty left for us there, though. There's the Massey around the corner I need to get to. Bungle came back with I'm taking a load of wool away recently. So yeah, that's going to be the plan for today. What we need to do, first of all, though, let's go and show you the fencing contract is finished. And this has all been done. And look at our finished yard. It's just superb. Nice strong fencing there. We've got plenty of room to get around and about. And this area here could actually be interesting for mucking out. With the pivot loader there, that could be ideal. But we're done. We are done. We've got a little bit of a turn space around the corner. We're going to back that trailer in there now. And we can also, as we squeeze on through here, we've made it as easy as we can to get out. Into that field there, nice and straightforward. Move that gate across in the end, just because we weren't really happy with where it was hanging. And we've done a little bit of work to do around here. Got some rubbish to clear off and some ground to level out there, but we'll get that done and dusted. It won't take us too long. And then maybe we're undecided about adding concrete, like raising the concrete floor here. We might do that, but we'll see. We can't afford to do it now, really, so we won't do it anytime soon. But I'm really pleased with how it's all coming together. I have to say, it's been a while coming, and it's looking great. Really, really do like it. And we've also found ourselves some space. We've got a little bit of a trailer park over here now, so we can get some of the tankers out the way, and this trailer's pretty long, and so we're just going to push this back here. And then we should be good. Perfect. And then we'll just come off it and drop this off here. Alright, that's looking good. And there you'll see
the spreader's back. Only this time we've gone and bought it. It was just a really cheap spreader, to be honest. It's about, no, we got a little bit of a discount on it, not much, but it is about 15 grand, and it's a smaller spreader, but if you went up for one of the bigger ones there, it's like 30 grand for like a button, for example, for the 12, 14 ton spreaders. This is a 10 ton, and it's, yeah, it's great for what we need. The amount of muck that we're producing at the moment, we're gonna have to start we would have had to start renting this quite frequently, so we'd made the decision to go for it, and we'll be looking good. But it's nice, it's compact, so we can still get around our yards really easily, but it gives us a nice option, and even like this Massey or the 3125 can pull it no problem at all. So we're gonna hook that on now, and then we'll be yeah, we should be good to go. And then yeah, I'm really happy to get that. Actually, it wasn't something that we were expecting to do, but just to be able to actually get that all dialed in is just, well, awesome. Really pleased with it. And like I say, having this little space around here that we can stick tankers into, what we'll have to do is probably put this one back just a bit more in the corner so we can easily get in and around into the hayfield there. We do actually want to get the slurry bowser down from over from South Healy, because I want to empty out our tank a bit and stick some onto there. That's something we'll have to look into doing. But for right now, we're just going to look to try and get that midden cleared a little bit, see what we can do, and that's pretty much us for the day for jobs, really. I've ordered a few bits and pieces I need to get the combine serviced up there. We're going to just get the my Massey done today as well, like I mentioned, and then we'll be all set. That just needs filters, bit of a change up, and then it's looking pretty good. Now, what would be easiest to do here? Let's see, in fact, a bit of a challenge here just to start off with. We should be able to get this around the corner easily. Plenty of space. Nice to have the option to do this. A little bit of a drive all the way around, so it's not always a reverse and everything around. There's a bit of rubble there that we need to clear up. I'll have to get onto that sooner rather than later, but we can. Yeah, another reason for having the slightly shorter spreader is for reasons exactly like this. Easily around our yard without a problem. Because yeah, some of our yard is not the easiest to handle and get through. Now what I'll probably do here, can I get around there? I might be able to, you know. Oh, look at that! Ideal. Ideal. And then we'll just stick ourselves over here and we can load straight in with the JCB, I suppose. That's handy. Perfect. All right. Car's looking good. Looking very happy in there as well. All right. So this is my first time in here. I think we'll also just look to swap this bucket around somewhere. That's probably not a bad plan. Let's see where we can leave that. All right. I might just have to leave the whole thing there and then see if we can pick it up from the other side. Yeah. Like the idea of a pivot steer. I don't like the cost associated with one, to be honest with you, but I do like the visibility you get from here and some of the advantages for the smaller sheds. But what I would say is, as much as it's a smaller, potentially a smaller like turn circle on a pivot steer, they are getting bigger. You know, these aren't small bits of equipment anymore. The old there you go, the old like Map Bros of the day were much smaller and easier to use. Okay, I think we're looking good there. Excellent. Alright, and then I wonder if I can just give that a little bit of a push forward. The old Silage grab there. It's ever so slightly in the way. We've started using the bales over at South Healy, and we'll probably, there's quite a few of them over there, and there's also some at the satellite yard, so we'll probably end up bringing those back to here when we need to. But we're not quite there yet. All right. Let's see how this goes, shall we? All right, nice and easy so far. We've got probably, well, a good couple of loads out of here. We're just going to stick it onto the bean ground, which still has a cover crop on it, but we'll be putting those soybeans in. That's the last thing we've got to do, but we'll be putting those spring beans in probably in about a week or two. It's not quite warm enough yet, so we'll wait till we get into April to put those in. So it'll have a bit of time to work in, which is what I wanted. And it should, oh Lord, it should be damaging everything already. So it should give us a nice, rich, fertile ground to go into. That, and combined with the cover crop that we've had in there for the winter, shouldn't really need anything else, which will be good. So if that is indeed the case, then we'll be able to get going straight away. And that is, like I say, the last of the stuff down here that we need to go at, which is nice. Nice to be in a position to be nearly done at least. Now the key with this would be to see how it gets on with that slurry separator, see how much space it has there. Because that will be, that's a real tight little bit that we've accidentally created in our yard, but it should be okay. There is a bigger version of this machine as well. I think it's the 420, too big for what we need. This will be, I mean, this is probably certainly more expensive than we could afford, but it's a nice thing to demo. They very kindly sent across. We did tell them that it was unlikely that we would be buying it anytime soon, but they were fine with that. Now we've got ourselves a bit tight up against the wall there, so we'll just do that. There you go. We've also got a heck of a lot of muck out in the field there. That's going to be going towards our spring ground. This is just a nice opportunity to get ahead of ourselves here. Really, whilst we wait. Silage ground's nowhere near ready. That's probably going to be a good couple of weeks yet. But it'll be great just to kind of be ready to go, I think. We got all the slurry ground up at, or the silage ground, sorry, up at South Healy spread recently as well. So we'll probably end up taking the first cut down here and then moving across up to out west there to get South Healy done and dusted as well. But we're in a good position. Okay, let's get this up here. You know what, we'll probably just give that a go, I reckon. Alright, well, first time using it, so far so good. And let's go get this, our brand new slurry spreader completely destroyed, shall we? That should still be on charge and looking good. I think it's going to need another hour or so on there. Alright. Now, I'm going to keep shutting this gate because, well, there's sheep in the field here, and they will be in my yard if I'm not careful. Perfect stuff. So, sheep are still looking happy. They've lost a fair bit of their paddock here, but they're still looking all right. On the way. Yeah, it's a well-matched setup, this. I'm impressed with it. And the more I drive this Massey Hammer, I am very much impressed with this tractor as well. It's been very nice so far. And what we'll do is just take our time around the side here. Now, like I say, cover crop is still there. We'll be keeping that in place until we roll over it with the crimper, just to kind of go ahead of the drill. So that's going to stay exactly how it is. And yeah, it's ultimately very, very pleased with how we're getting on. Now what I need to do here is lift you up. And we'll see how we go. Alright, slow that speed down a little bit because we're on a nice thick application here. And then we'll see. Yeah, this should give us the best this should give us the best opportunity to get a real strong crop of beans on here. And the beans really are more so just to help for the future crops as well. Really should allow us to fix that nitrogen in the soil. And hopefully reduce down how much we need to buy in terms of fertilizers. We'll be putting a, depending upon when we get this cleared, ideally I'd like to get a crop of wheat in after this. But we'll see how that goes. What we will do though is just keep cracking really. I've upset a lot of neighbors of ours recently by spreading slurry pretty much everywhere. Well, we have as a farm, I suppose. Uncle and Bungle were going at it recently, and I did the ground up here, and they did the ground up by the village in Belém there, so in Netherton, beg your pardon. So it's yeah, not great, but you know, it's farming, can't be avoided. They'll get over it, I'm sure. Now these footpath walkers might not like me too much today. We'll give them a bit of a wide berth because who knows what's in this slurry. But how to ruin a lovely lovely stroll on a Sunday morning in one quick and easy solution. Actually getting one load here is going pretty fast. I wonder if we have to maybe tweak the spreader a little bit, but we are just going to stop here for a second because I want to go and have a look at the bottom end of this field. This end has always had a little bit more of an issue with water. I think there's a busted drain down here somewhere. Just want to check it through, but it's looking like it's okay. Clean looking crop as well of oats here, so it's not looking too bad. Tramlines are clean as well, and it's had its nitrogen on there, which we should start to see a real benefit from in the coming week or two. Really, I don't know if it's going to need anything else. We'll have to keep an eye on it and see, but. And also get the agronomists back in just to double check, but so far at least it's not looking all that bad for end of March, so we will monitor that and see moving forward. Just have a bit of a walk over here. I've got stuck down in this corner here on multiple occasions. It's a miserable time actually to get out the last time it happened, but yeah, looking good indeed. I'm really happy with how our winter drilled crops went in actually, so it's a good start. Hopefully the spring crops, well, they've had a good start so far. Hopefully that will continue. Shut there, and then let's go. Alrighty, and we'll work our way back up towards the gate, by which point we should be about empty, and we'll go again, nice and easy. That's gonna be the day for us today, really. We are now in a little bit of a period of preparation, really, getting a few things ready for harvest, both silage and cereal crops later in the year. Just checking off a few boxes really for servicing, for making sure we're all ready to go, which I think we are for the most part. We'll spend, once I get this field work done, that's pretty much me until we start first cut silage, so we'll be looking to just get everything serviced up. Already get the mower out of the shed soon, and just double check that one over as well and see if there's anything that we can do just to speed ourselves up. But yeah, we're rapidly approaching busy season, so we'll see how we get on. All right, we'll probably just knock that one off about there for now, and then we'll go back and fill up again and do it all over again. So that's gonna be us for now. So we'll leave it here, I think, as we continue around. We've got this JCB for a little bit, so we're gonna have a bit of a play with it and tell you what we think when we get to the end of the week. If anyone has a spare, I don't know, what, 60 grand or whatever they are, please let me know, because I'd love to pick one up. And have it on the farm for good, but I can't see that happening. But yeah, really pleased to have the yard all finished before we get too busy, and we can now tick that one off and just enjoy it really for what it is. So that's exactly what we will do. But for now, I think we'll leave it here. I just need to hustle some sheep out the way and get back in and refill again. So welcome back to My Farming Life. I hope you're doing very well. You join me in the demo 320, one of the last jobs they'll be doing for us before it does go long back. And welcome to April. We have been a little bit busy here and there getting some work done, We are still in the field, and we're spreading a bit of fertilizer on the spring-growth crops before I get back to the last of the field preparation, really. We're coming over to see Bungle, who gave me a phone call to say that he needs this one last bag of fertilizer to get him through this field that he's in. And so that is what I shall deliver. And we have, yeah, this last field that we're in here to do, and then a few more others once they get established a little bit more. We'll be coming back in with some nitrogen onto those. And that's us done for now, at least. That should be us all up to date. We're going to be, this next week or so, we've got sugar beet to try and drill, get a contractor in to do that, and then we've also got our soybeans put into the ground as well. So we're making some progress here and there. Still a little bit more that we can make. Most of the ground over at South Healy has been done, which is great. Ooh, just take our time down there. And also up here, and then we will be able to get the drills put away. Up you go. And see how we go. I thought we'd come down this just because we don't get much time with this on the road at the moment, and we're only bringing one bag down, so it should be fine and dandy. And oh, there's a bit of weed in there, a bit of brome or something. We'll have to have a look at that in a minute. Oh, there he is, Lord Muck, sitting in his seat there, waiting for his servant to arrive. Anyway, let's get this all loaded up here, shall we? Alright, and that's all done. Not much in there, Bungle, mind. I hope that's enough for you.
It should be. Not much left to do in here, like.
Good. This is looking alright in here, isn't it? Nice and clean. Good, good thick establishment at least.
Aye. Oh, I'm pretty pleased with it, to be honest with you. We'll see how it goes. There's a definite line you can see, though, where the two fields were knocked through. But we'll see how that continues. Looking good, though. Not too wet, not too cold. Pretty perfect.
Indeed, yeah. Hopefully in the more days like this where it's quite warm, a little bit of sun breaking through, we'll fly along. Absolutely fly. How much more have you got to do?
No, not much. Just a couple more tram lines, like, and that'll be it done.
Oh, perfect, perfect. I'm going to go get a start in a little bit with a bit more plowing. Get some of the field work ready for the sugar beet, and then we'll get the drill back on to do the beans, and I think that's going to be us pretty much done.
Hopefully, a couple of days, we'll have it all knocked out.
What are you doing after this?
I'm probably going to get on the phone with Andrew, get him back over with the sprayer. Have you looked at the field over the hedge there?
I have. Well, I just saw it when I was reversing in there. It doesn't look great, does it? What is that?
Oh, I'm not sure what weed it is. Maybe it looks like a brush weed or a broom or something, but it's that needs to be knocked on the head.
I know, it seems to be fairly thick over there. It's weird that it's just over that side though, and not over here from what you can see.
There's nout over here.
Alright, well, I'm gonna have a quick look at it, walk through that field, see what it looks like, and then I will leave you to it. The JCB's going back tomorrow, right?
Aye, that's what I was told at least.
Okay, perfect. I'll take it back, I'll wash it off as well, and we'll just leave it parked up in the yard there. And I will let you go.
Alright, no bother.
Okay. Alright, there he goes. So, what we're going to do here, I think, is just stop over here for now. Hasn't lifted up his hopper yet, has he? Some boy. So, yeah. Quite a few weeds come through here. This was direct drilled. Now, sometimes that can mean that there's a bit more likelihood for weeds to come through, but I wasn't expecting anything this thick. A few docks in there as well, which is a surprise, but we will get the sprayer out and get this killed off now, and then we'll wait a little bit before we put fertilizer onto here so we're not feeding the weeds. But it's fairly thorough throughout the field there, which is disappointing, but like I say, we can get that one covered, and then yeah, it shouldn't affect it too much if we get it nipped in the bud at this early stage. And we'll see. Everything else has been done. This is the last of the fertilizer work that we've got to do according to the agronomist, so that's all good. Get that shot as well, and we can get ourselves back on over. Open up. Alright, there you go. It's a bumpy old track, this one. I do like this telehandler from what we've used of it around about. It's handy, it really is. It's mobile, it's more agile than I thought it would be. Plenty of power on there. It's faster in all manners than either of our two machines, really, just in terms of hydraulic flow. And also just field speed, road speed. It's just sharper and more responsive. There is a hefty price tag to it though, so I don't think we'll be acquiring anything like this too soon. But you know, it's nice to know what our options are. Look at that though for a fielder body. Good God, it's flying. All right, make sure there's nothing coming here. Look like there is. And all right, we'll get ourselves back on over. We'll have to give this a bit of a wash down there because, like I say, it is going back, and I think we're pretty much done with it. We have finished the pit silage at Moor Farm. That is all gone. The pit is now empty there, so we will be. We're in early April now, so it'll be a few weeks till we can think about first cut, and we'll let that slurry really kick on. The grass is starting to really explode though, which is good. Ooh, I suppose you're going. Off you pop. All right, and then yeah, so that will be something that we will have to start gearing towards once we get the last of the spring drilling done. Grassland's looking pretty good though. Like I say, it's warm at the moment, which is key. Warm with a bit of sunshine, intermittent showers, which is perfect growing conditions, so I can't really complain. A few weeds here and there as we've just seen, but for the most part we're looking good. Field on my left here, well, that will be going on into beans. That's the last that we need to really drill here. That's not being touched, or that we'll be drilling, because the sugar beet is something that we won't be touching ourselves. And then the rest of it though, yeah, it's all looking pretty good. Very happy with it. Once we get this done, then we will be on to servicing up the harvest gear, the balers, the combine, getting that all ready to go as well. So it's all going to be busy, that's for sure. But I like it. It's important just to get all these other jobs ticked off as we can. Still through there. The first thing we'll do, I think, is just get this, give this a bit of a wash. As you can see, one empty pit there. A little bit concerned about that so early. We do have plenty of silage bales though around the area, so that should be fine. That was a bag there actually that I thought Bungle wanted 2, so let's shift that one, I suppose. And we'll just stick that one into the back here. Plenty of fit, too much fit left over actually, that's so far. But like I say, there's still ground that we need to cover. We'll get that all done. And we'll see. We did have to go and borrow a, well, this handy little bag lifter. Just to try and JCB, because that was, of course, has Manitou brackets on it there, so it wouldn't have fit. Alright, well, we will... Let's get this washed down, shall we? And then we've got the bucket right there. We've also got the grab in the silage pit here. And we'll just stick this here as well. And this will be nice and easy to pick up in the morning there. But yeah, I really like it. There are quite a few things as we continue to look to expand here that I would like to look into maybe acquiring next. Our 2 telehandlers right now are probably doing okay. And the thing is, if we picked up something like this, sure, it's great and it'll be nice, but... I mean, which yard do you put it at? I don't still know which one would be more beneficial. There's equal amounts of load work to do at both ends, so I just don't know really. We'll have to figure that one out. Slurry is being separated still at an alarming rate. I need to figure out a way to automate that rather than me turn it on all the time. But yeah, otherwise that's looking pretty darn good. Cattle are fine, fit and healthy. They're starting to put a little bit of size on, which is good. Sheep are doing well as well. And the plows on the massey in the back here. I really do appreciate having this little standing area now as well, just to get machinery out of the yard. It's turned out to be a very good investment. But before we jump on into that, we'll just pop on down here. Plenty of grass around here, as you can see. It's just exploding everywhere at the moment, which is good. The sheep are struggling to keep on top of this. We need to get some lambs away soon, and we'll also be needing to start to looking to see which beef cattle are looking the best, because Lolly knows that we need to start to make a little bit of a return on the investment that we've seen in beef over the last, 8-9 months. But look at that shed, it's fitting in pretty well now, I'd say. Everything's starting to look pretty good. This is the field that we will get to drill at some stage, and it is... Cover crop's still doing well, still going along very nicely, and this shows what the benefits of having it, because it's been in now, this cover crop, for... oh geez, 8-9 months, so it's a real thick matter. And it's a real thick carpet really at this point in time. So we'll be bringing all with sunlight like this. It's bringing that sunlight in, capturing it all, transferring it into nitrogen, sticking it into the soil, which is perfect. So with that being said, when we do come to drill the beans into there, they should be into a really good starting point really. So we'll have to see. But anyway, we're going to go and turn over some soil now ahead of the beet drill, which will be coming in a few days time. We don't have one, so contractor will have to come in to do that. And this is going to be us taking the first steps really in our test for what it's going to be like for us to do, to work on our own beet, to produce our own beet there, to have all of our own materials and minerals that we need on site there to produce our best total mix ration for our livestock to really flourish. So that is what it's looking like. But before we can get to do that bit, we're just gonna have to crack up the... Oh, there you go, stick the plow up, and yeah, we should be good. And we'll just take ourselves down to the field there. The barley should be starting to come up there. There hasn't been any fertilizer put in the headland yet. We'll just have to have a look, see how it's all shaping up when we get down there. We'll probably get everything drilled first and just see how that's all coming together before Bungle comes along with the spreader. But we'll see, you know, we will see. All right, and around we go. And then yeah, like I say, after this we need to go and get the mower out, give that service up. I've got a lot of grass to get going through. That is one of my jobs there. So this Massey's going to be a little bit busy in the coming few weeks and months, which is what we want. We want it to start paying for itself a little bit more. And then yeah, before you know it, harvest will be here. And I can't wait. I really can't. We're now going to have enough to really get that combine going. Hopefully the weather's good throughout this summer. And if it is, then yeah, we should be in for a good one. I'm happy with where the crops are at the moment, that's for sure. Really trying to leverage how much organic material we can stick into there, because we're building up quite a muck heap over here. The more of that we can do, the less that we have to go in and rely upon our any man-made fertilizers. Then that will be all the better for me. All right, so if memory serves, we've got some cover crop in here that we're gonna have to flatten. And there's a... Oh, Lord, direct drilling's... you can see where we've been here. The weeds are coming straight through as well. So we'll have to get the weed killer into here as well. I mentioned earlier on that there are many things that I would like to buy before we buy a new telehandler. I'd really love our own sprayer. I would. As much as Andrew's great to have around, it would just be nice not to have to rely on anybody else. But here we are. Now then, you can see... where the spring barley is coming through there. It's looking all right, minus the weeds, of course. And we will get this plowed over. We're going to plow it all over, and then we'll be away to the races. And well, at that stage, really, it's all down to beet, and the beet will be good to go once this spring barley's been cleared as well. So probably early fall, hopefully, if it's dry enough. But we'll see how it gets on. But we just got to turn this one over, and then we'll be set. We'll put a little mini headland in here of our own as well, just so we don't trample too much of the barley there. And yeah, we'll have to see. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it all works out pretty darn well. Let's get ourselves a GPS coordinate set up. All right, we're looking good there. Probably. All right, let's see how that goes, shall we? Slow down. Won't be taking up too much. That looks pretty good. We'll take it. We'll take it. It's nice and dry at the moment. Like I say, it hasn't been raining too much at all, which is good. And we will... This field in the bottom I'm a little bit worried about because it does get awfully wet in the corner there, but we'll have to just see how it goes. And we can hopefully, like I say, get a decent crop of beet off here. Not really something that's growing too much around here. Lord knows how we're going to harvest it right now, but we'll have to figure that one out once we get closer to the time. But for right now, all we can really do is see how it plows over. We'll square this edge off here, and then we will yeah, just see and wait and see what happens there over the course of the next few months, really. Let me know if you've done anything similar to this. Not many people will have around here, I know that much. There isn't too much beet growing around here, I must say. We are probably in the minority, but we wanted to try it just to see if the benefits are there for us, really. And then we can, like I say, we're just going to try and square it off about here. And then we'll just have to make sure that headland now, that we don't go any further than that. And we can stay off the barley. The barley's still nice and young, so it shouldn't take too much damage from this. Should be okay. There's no tram lines on this field anyway, not that we'd use them, but there's not going to be any for drilling or for spraying. So it should just be one boom that it'll turn on to get this done. Perfect. It's turning over nicely. Should be a good job. Not much trash left on the top there either, so I'm happy with that. And we will just keep on rolling, I suppose.
Wouldn't lie to you, doesn't matter what I do. She's got a hold on me. She knows how to drive a truck, but she lets me pick her up when we're going dancing. My heart stops beating when my headlights shining on her. She's my country girl. I couldn't tell you what she's doing with me. She's so damn out of my league. She's a little bit crazy on the weekends, dancing in her red dress, and I love the way she looks in my eyes. And I'm feeling like midnight's getting closer, and I just wanna hold her in my arms till the sun comes up. She's a little bit country. Yeah, she's my country girl. She's a
Spring update. Early April now, everything's flying. Weeds are flying as well, but we'll get those under control on all the latest drilled spring crops. Always an issue with direct drilling that you might have slightly higher outbreak of weeds, but we'll get on top of that one. And then we're all good to go, really. So watch this space for all things sugar beet. And we are round the corner from silage already, which is nuts. So it's going to be busy, and we will see how we get going. But thank you very much for watching this update. I hope you have enjoyed a few little things happening here today. And we'll see where the next week or so takes us. So until then, thank you very much for watching. I have been Simulation for the Nation. This has been the next day, or next installment of My Farming Life. If you have enjoyed it and you yet to do so, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, subscribe for more, and we'll see you all in the next one. Catch you later. You joined me this evening, lovely April evening there, just coming up to see how Bungle's getting on. He is working down the ground that we're going to be drilling probably tomorrow with sugar beet. We won't be doing it. We've got the contractor coming in to do all that because we don't have a drill. But yeah, it's turned over quite nicely. A few stones here that hopefully we can get buried. But otherwise, looking good. Looking good. Bungles is ticking along in his 5S there. Like I said, we plowed this over. I finished plowing up and it's not looking too bad at all, actually. So should turn us into a very nice plot of land for... well, a good few acres of sugar beet here, all in. We'll see here that the weeds have been killed off. We had Andrew come back in with the spray. Got some footage of it as well, which was good. So you should hopefully be seeing that coming up very shortly. And ultimately, yeah, we were just able to get in there before they got too crazy. And we're able to get on top of it and stop the spread and stop the infestation any further there, really, because it's... yeah, a lot of whatever this was, like a chickweed or something like that, and it was causing havoc on the ground that was direct drilled. So that's why we've done that one, and it's looking pretty good so far. So hopefully, yeah, we'll be able to get this all drilled up tomorrow. That's the second to last bit of drilling that we've got to do. Oh, we'll have to leave that open. because I've still got one bit of beans to do, which I'm probably going to do tomorrow. Actually, might get the tractor set up for it this evening, but it's getting a bit late in the day for that, and I've got to go and look into the combine as well this evening, so that will be the next plan. You'll see ahead of me, though, as we walk through a silage field, it's getting ready to be cut, actually, maybe another week or two, and we'll be in, which is quite exciting. We've got a small block of land to go and do. It's only like a 6-acre paddock or something like that, but it's for a friend of ours. And we always do that first, and then he'll get it baled up himself there. But it's nice to kind of make sure the tractor and the mowers are all working properly. It warms everything up, really, if you like. And just make sure we're not going to run into any issues. But yeah, you'll see ahead of us is a tractor that's not ours. This is the contractor who's coming in. He just parked up here this evening, so he's ready to go for tomorrow. And then we'll be all done with the beet. And then that'll be nice just to get that one ticked off. But smart looking little rig there, that's for sure. And we'll leave him be. It's a beautiful day. It's been stunning all week, really. Nice and dry, nice and still conditions there as well. So everything has been growing phenomenally well, which is great. And that's really allowed us to kind of get ahead a bit here. What we do want to do, we need to get this drill back on at some stage, but we also need to go and get the mower down. We might put the mower onto the tractor. Slurry separator's been doing its thing. I need to get this cart to the way as well. My life at the moment seems to consist of carting muck away from this yard. It's just phenomenal the amount that we have. But anyway, the JCB has gone back sadly, so all my loader work is now done with our own telehandlers. A little bit disappointing, but it is what it is. Now what we're going to do is go and take the Land Rover actually and go for a bit of a drive. I've earmarked today, or this week really, as machinery service day. So mainline tractors are all good and working. They've been doing a lot of work, so we're fine with that. But what isn't fine, what we haven't checked over really, is the combine. So we've had a few belts on order, a few things like that coming through, and they've arrived. I have those, so we're going to take the Land Rover, just go up and turn the combine over there, maybe even get out the shed it's in, just so we can make sure we're all looking good. It's good to get ahead of that really where you can. Otherwise, we're all good. We were down at Moor Farm and Manor Farm getting the spraying done. That's all taken care of though. It's looking very nice. Rest of the crops are looking pretty sound actually. Nothing to be too concerned about. And before we nip away, let's just show you the linseed over here. Look at the linseed coming through. Beautiful color to it. Really, really good. If anyone wants to say more straw, I know the weather's turned around now, but we're looking good. The flower on here is fantastic. It's really looking good. It's coming on leaps and bounds. So I'm very, very pleased with that. We'll have to see how it continues. But yeah, very strong looking crop. Everything else with the barley, with the oats, all very, very pleasing to the eye. Again, what we've had so far is pretty good conditions. What we need to continue though, now that we are nearly in May, is a little bit more rain here and there. Not much, and then some nice warm weather, and that will just get us right the way through there. Bit of rain early May would be great. Don't want too much any later than that, but that'll allow us there to get going. And that's the field of beans that we still got to drill, and that will be us done. Yeah, otherwise it's all looking rosy at the moment, I've got to say. I was actually shocked when we've got our invoice through for the chemicals that we needed to use as part of the weed killing for the direct drill ground, and my word have they shot up. So whilst on one side of things direct drill is great because you remove the costs of extra fuel burnt by plowing, for example, and the cost of wearing metal on your plow and servicing and all that stuff, and also the potential, there's a deer, to have issues with like soil compaction. You do almost have to spend a lot more on your weed killer or your glyphosate, for example, there. And my word is it's almost quadrupled actually, which is not great. So that is something we'll have to consider. Hopefully we'll just get that nipped in the bud now and it won't become too much of a long running issue. But with these kind of things, you never really know. Oh, Sunday drivers are out in force today. Hopefully you're going to go left here. You are. Yes, thank you. Hello, mister. It's not that warm for a tank top just yet. Alright. Yeah, silage ground up in South Healy here as well is good to go. I'm not sure which will be hitting first. In theory, it'll probably be down at Bellum because that got a little bit of a head start in terms of slurry. So we'll see. But there's still a lot to do up here as well, and that will be good to get ahead on that side of things too. But yeah, they've still got plenty of bales up here as well. We're having to cart a few down when we need them at Bellum though, because we are out of our pit silage there, but there's plenty going on up here, that's for sure. But you can see some of the fields here are starting to look really good, and yeah, hopefully it's going to be a good year for grass, I think. I'm hoping at least, because it's been quite wet throughout the earlier part of the year, and a lot of good growing conditions now though, so hopefully that's looking good. Oh, what's Uncle doing over here? He's looking at something. Oh, right, and there's the combine will come through in a moment. Needs a wash down as well. Good evening, sir. How are you?
Hello, I am all right. How's it going? What brings you up here this evening?
Well, I figured I'm not going to start drilling anything right now, so I'm just going to come up and tinker around with the combine, do a bit of servicing, that kind of stuff. Get us into a good place there.
Very good. Is it time to wash it down as well?
Yeah, I think I might give it a wash. We'll see. I've got a couple of belts that need replacing on it first of all, though, and then we'll see how we're looking from there.
Good, good. Won't be long until it's needed. What's your dad up to?
Power harrowing at the moment, actually. He is cracking on the... we've got Andrew coming back in tomorrow to drill the beet, so he is working away, just getting that little block of land worked down first. It's turned up pretty nicely, actually, so we should see some good conditions tomorrow.
Excellent. I was thinking, do we need to go and take care of John's paddock anytime soon? We usually want to get that knocked out before we get onto our own stuff.
Yeah, so we'll get this beat in tomorrow, and I don't know if you or cousin want to jump on and get the mowing done, but we can certainly get that away. I'll get, as soon as I get the beat done and get the beans in, then I can stick it onto mine and we'll see. But otherwise, yeah, we'll just have to take it from there. What are you looking out so wistfully over the fields for?
Oh, not much really. Just admiring the silage field here. Should be a decent first cut.
You know, I was just saying that, yeah. I think we should be good. Good growing conditions. As long as it stays dry for the next few weeks, we'll be away. Oh yeah, I'm going to jump on, but we'll be back up tomorrow. I think we need some more bales, so we'll be back up with the trailer to grab a few more tomorrow, I would reckon.
Okay, no problem. We'll be around.
Perfect. All right, well, I'm going to play with the combine, and I'll catch up with you later. Cattle are looking well in here, though, aren't they? Looking very good. Hello, cows. Very good indeed. Perfect. All right, so the combine. What did we need to do? So aside from general service, filters, and all that good stuff, and maybe looking into the oil, because I don't know when that was last done, it needs a wash down. We don't wash it down at the end of the season. We wash it down before we're about to use it, just so it doesn't get any like water stuck in anywhere. There was a belt on the chopper that we needed to replace, and then when we were... What I typically do is slacken off all the tension on the belts in the at the end of the season, just so they're not stuck in tension throughout the year. And then I noticed as well there was one on the a belt for here, which is the elevator that takes the grain once it's been separated through and up and into the tank. So that one wanted to be replaced over there as well. Now, do I have my key? No, I don't have my keys. They're in the workshop here, I think. Alright, got my keys this time. You do need keys to start an engine, that is proven. And we'll give it a turn over there, just let it tick through. We'll probably get it out just to see how it's looking. And then, yeah, get these belts taken over. There's our new grain trailer. I haven't really used it much yet, obviously, but we will be getting that going. I'm looking forward to getting out and about with that. Still got a fair bit of straw left up here as well. But we're getting through it all. Ooh, how do you like my parking? Good lord. All right, this is where we hope and pray. Hey, I was never worried. Never worried. All right, so we'll let that tick over for a little bit there. And then I might just need to... The pressure washer is over here. Isn't it? All right, let's stick this into here. Having this as a machinery storage shed or a bale storage is much better in my opinion than when we had sheep here. We obviously means all the sheep are down with us at Bellum there, but it gives us so much more storage space. The rake is in good nick as well. That had a big service over before last year, so there's not too much we need to worry about there. Coming across to the other shed here, we should have a baler and a mower in here. There's a header. Need to get to the back of there, so we'll probably have to get this header out at some stage soon. Get the mower out with, and then our little baler as well. And so yeah, we'll be good to go. A big old job on here with wrapping, so we'll have to make sure we get through it all. But the contractor will be coming in and do the pit work as well. Oh, he's still got his rollers on. So it'll be good to get that all filled up. Yeah, with that increase of livestock that we've had up here, we're really going to need to make sure we get a good crop, because last year's silage crop was pretty terrible, all being said. So missed out quite a lot there. But all right. Let's see then. Can't really see too much here. I think we're good. We're out. Perfect. And then let's just stick it down the side towards, or actually even in the silage pit for now. That'll be fine. I think we'll be out here for a day or two as we get going with it all. We'll not wash it over yet. We'll finish and then we'll do that. But we're all looking good, and that'll keep us out of the way. And that allowed me to get a few belts changed over on here, and then just give everything else a once over, make sure we're all looking handy. And then yeah, we are good for one bit of machinery done. All right then. Not looking too bad. Like I say, new to us last year, and it was great for the output that we had last year. Then it should be still plenty manageable and capable of getting through everything that we need this year. With just a few little replacement pieces here and there, and we should be good. So we'll get this one all serviced over for now, and then get those two belts taken off there, and then yeah, we'll end up giving it a wash down at the end, I think, and we should be laughing. All right, well, good morning. We've come back. It's day 2 really of this. Finished up servicing the combine last night, even gave it a wash down, but we're going to drive back on over to South Healy in the Massey today, because we need to pick up some silage bales. Contractor's coming very soon to start the maize, so we'll leave him with that. Bungle finished doing the power harrow in last night. Not the maize, sorry, the beet. And what we're going to do is get ourselves away. Now, I've noticed something without my tractor here. It has been struggling to start, which is fun. So we might have to have a look into this one. It's just not starting first time, which is weird. So we'll have to probably get it serviced over again before we get too close to harvest of any sort. So that's interesting, a little wrinkle to have. So we'll have to have a look into that one now. Could have done without it, but you know, the joys of machinery, I suppose. It's just kind of started to develop. I noticed it a few days ago, but it was like second time round it would start. That was the 3rd attempt, so we'll see. But yeah, we're off to get some silage bales so we can keep everything fed up down here, and then we'll all be good. Andrew should be here fairly soon. A little bit damper this morning, which I don't mind actually, because it does allow just a little bit of moisture into the crops, which is good. So we will see how he gets on when he arrives. We're good for fuel, and we can get this all done. And after this, we'll stick the drill on, and then we'll go get a bit of drilling done this afternoon as well. So lots to do today. Just kind of ticking along with things, fixing everything up, making sure we're good. Finally get the drilling finished for the year there. That will be the big piece, which I'll be really chuffed about. And then we can focus on grass from there on out. So join me this afternoon as we are just filling up our diet feeder for this evening, with more bales that we've carted down from South Healy. And then, well, we're going to go have a bit of a walk through some of our crops around here, but then we're on to mowing. It is the very 1st of May, and we have a lot to... Well, we're going to start with a bit of work for a friend that we always do, and then following on from that there, we will be starting with our own first cut, which is rather exciting. We've got a lot to get knocked down. I'm always the mower man. And then for the baling work, that'll be cousin. And then for any of the tedding and rowing up, I'll be split between Bungle and Uncle as usual. So what we're going to do though is we're still feeding a bit of a buffer ration to our stock around here. We still really want to make sure that our cattle get a good strong ration to keep them going, and we're really starting to see some good finishing coming along, so we want to maintain that. So we'll just unwrap both of those, and then yeah, like I say, everything's been fed up already. We're just gonna get this done now, so the feeder wagon's done really. So I guess Bungle can get that all taken care of later on. We have a few other bits and pieces to do around the yard, which I won't be doing right now, but it's a job to do anyway. That needs to be cleared out again. It's saving us an awful lot, that. It really is. A lot of slurry not going into the tank and the rougher stuff there, so that's really, really good to see. Now, in they go. We'll let those do their thing. And then that's probably going to be it for those, actually. So we'll just go and park this in the shed for now, as we'll let that mixer do its thing there. So it's a nice dry day. It was a little bit damp overnight there, which is why we haven't started mowing yet, but it's a warm day, so everything is coming along very nicely indeed. Now, traditionally, I would always use my tractor. Sometimes we've mixed it around a little bit, but we're not going to use my Massey today, because you may remember if you watched the most recent episode, I was having a little bit of trouble with this not starting first time, and now it won't start at all. So we've got a fitter coming out to have a look at it. It's just, I don't know if it's injectors, it'll just keep turning over and turning over and turning over and nothing will happen. So something's going on there, and we still have a warranty package on it, so they're going to come out and check it out. So that's fun, just as harvest starts to get going. But we're going to drive up to South Ely, pick up our the trusty 3125, which the mower's on over there. Uncle was servicing that up as well. Today though, we're going to just check out and do a little bit of, it's only about a little paddock really. We're gonna do two little paddocks. We're gonna do a paddock for a friend of ours, and we're gonna do the one around the other side there, just to get it cut down, put it into iron bales. And well, it's just more than anything just to test all the equipment through, make sure it's all working as we want it to, and there's no hiccups or issues, so that when we really get going, we won't run into any problems. First cut will be pit silage. We'll have a contractor coming in to do that. That will be interesting. We'll try and get all that one captured and recorded. But yeah, this little field here will come in to do as well. But first things first, we'll go and do this little field for a couple of our friends. They own it. They don't really farm it. They just like keeping it tidy and getting a crop off there. And so we'll bale it, wrap it, and then just stack the bales for them. They can decide what they want to do. Not expecting too much, but you know, it's a nice warm up really. So we'll go up and get the tractor from South Ely. Now we have seen, because we've had a little bit of rain here and there, a little bit of warm weather, everything is starting to really grow, which is great. The spring crops that we put in there are looking good as well. The beans have really shot up as well. They were drilled, about last week of April we put those in, so they're coming along very nicely indeed. You'll even see, we'll just have a peek into here. As we come to the gateway down here, yeah, we'll just have a stop and have a walk through. But I'm really impressed with them at the moment, actually. They're looking very, very good indeed. So the one concern is not really with the beans, is that we've had to spray this off as well. The ground that we've direct drilled, we are having a hell of a problem with weeds. So we need to, I guess that's kind of a side effect of not plowing, but my words, they're tough. You can see what came shooting through here in amongst the beans. It's a bit barren in places there, but it's doing okay. They're up, they're away, so that's good. So we'll see how that looks over time. But yeah, pleased with that so far. So sprayer man's been back out again just to take control of these, and also a couple of fields of spring barley that we had over at South Ely. But yeah, they're all done. There's only one field that we haven't drilled with anything, and we've just decided to leave that in set aside. The one of the smaller fields down by the river over at South Ely. We're going to decide what we do. That might end up going back into grass, I think, just for simplicity. But we'll cross that bridge. Right now, that you can see all the winter drilled crops are really coming along nicely as well. So we're very, very happy with all of that. And then soon, yeah, we'll get silage underway, and then soon it'll be on with harvest in its entirety. So that's all good. Combine servicing has been finished. Moved everything around so we can get into the hay equipment. The mower and baler were all serviced up as well, so we're looking good. But right now we're going to drive up to South Ely, and then let's get this old 3125 out and start with some mowing here. See, the grass around up here as well is pretty much ready to go, and then there's a lot of slurry in the tanks up here ready to go on as soon as we've got these fields cleared. So it should be a lot of happening. There's Uncle again, and we'll just park this down here, I think, for now. That'll do us fine. Not sure where everyone is. Uncle's disappeared there as well. But yeah, so we're finishing stock and doing well up here. We're not quite ready to sell them. We want maybe another month on the oldest calves that we have, just to really get a bit more of a weight to them. But they're doing okay. They're doing all right. As I mentioned, combine's back in here now. It's been serviced. Headers in here as well. It's looking clean and tidy and ready to go, which is great. So we just need time to tick on, really, and then we'll get going. But look at the old girl. I actually really like mowing with the 3125. It's just a nice tractor. It's one that we always used to use. Occasionally we'll stick it onto the 7810 as well, but I like it. I like it a lot. John Deere mower's looking good for its age. It's not too bad. We've had this now for, oh geez, where are we? 2024. I think we had this in 2012. So it's been around for a while, but it's looking good. And then, yeah, like I say, the baler's been serviced up there for our second cut, and then the wrapper's good to go. This coming year, we're going to try and make a few more square bales, because we've got a few inquiries from a couple of horsey folk. And that might just be a bit of an option for us. We've got a plan that we might just bale everything up in round bales, and then later in the year, when we need to, we can just feed the round bales into the square baler and try it that way. But that's something that we're working on anyway. So... let's get ourselves away, shall we? A little bit of a drive here, not too crazy. You gotta remember, with this mower, that it is a little bit wider. And then you gotta take it easy through gateways. There you go. Perfect. It's the gateway down the hill here, which causes a little bit more of an issue. Because we've got no sheep up here as well, we might try and take a bit more of this field for silage, for the first cut at least. And then we've got the bit that we just passed, the field on the other side of the yard, and then all of the ground through here, actually. This small one here will just bale, because it's not a fun field to get a forager, a big rake, and a couple of tractors in there. It's just not worth it by the time you get them all in. And also, pit's the other way, so you have to turn around and back yourself out. It's just not a fun field, so we'll leave it. Now, because the mower's a little bit wider, we will go through this way, through the woods. Lovely stuff. So yeah, all the ground around here, you'll see, look at that linseed again, looking just magnificent. A really, really good crop, that one. It's gonna be a bit tough going through the combine, but it's a lovely crop to look at least. That's all looking good as well. Again, lots of slurry to put down when we get these all cleared, for the first time around at least, so that'll be handy. These are just destroying it through that barley there. Yeah, all the spring crops so far at least it's been the perfect combination of weather for them all thus far, and I'm really, really pleased about that. So hopefully we'll get a bit more of it as the year goes on. Still plenty to go. Alright, and up we go. Not too far over the hill here, really. It's a tiny little paddock. I don't know, they've had it for ages. There's an old couple of like derelict buildings in there that they haven't really done too much with. So just be interesting to see what happens, really. We will just go and have a quick peek though. Should only take us about half an hour to mow down. Like I say, it's not large at all. And then we'll be all good to go. And then yeah, we do it once a year for them. Just tidies it all up, keeps it neat and looking good. And then I just don't know what their plan is with that field. If they find someone to rent it out to, I don't know. But not us, not anything that we need, that's for sure. This is gonna be in here. This is gonna be us. And what in the world? You have got to be kidding. What? Oh. Fly tipping. You love to see it. You really... oh. Well, that's got to be, what, about 6 ton of hardcore. And a couple of lovely oil drums, because why not? And some rubbish. A couple of pallets. A wooden trolley. And some more oil drums. Good. I mean... what are we going to do to get past... oh, we have to ring them up then, see what they want to do. There goes a train. This is something that's happening more and more around here at the moment, and it is infuriating. People just don't want to pay to get rid of rubbish, so they just dump it into fields, entrances. There's actually a load dumped up in the field over there by the woods you can see on the hill. Look how menacing those grey clouds are, by the way. We missed that shot of that rainstorm. But we're not getting into here. We'll need something to shift all this. So that's just tremendous. So let's go make a few phone calls and then see what that looks like. I suppose I'll pull over a little bit here. Well, all right then. So we've spoken to our friends who own this field, and they're going to have somebody... they've actually rang the council, someone from there. And apparently, in the world first, the council responded, and they're on the way. Can you believe it or not? So we're going to just wait and see what happens. Really, the rubbish here, it is what it is, but it's... I kind of can't get in for the rubble that someone's just dumped here. That's the thing. I'll move this out of the way, maybe. Try and just push this through here. Get over there. I'm stuck. And maybe we can just stick this here for now until they figure out what they want to do. But God, is it annoying. Really, really is. I don't know why people persist on... Well, I do know why people persist on doing this, because they can't afford to pay for the removal costs. But it's very frustrating. Move that one. Oh, is that... What's that coming behind? What's that coming behind me here? Oh! A council vehicle has arrived. Look at that. Who knew? Alright, the council do work. That's a nice looking Volvo. Tremendous news. Well, we'll get to see what this looks like then. See if they can get this all cleared away for us. I might have to marshal some traffic, but we will, we'll see how it goes, I suppose. What a time to be alive. Alright, well, try to capture some of that, but that was very quick of them, and they're away. They said they were in the area doing some of the road repairs, and they got the call, so... But the key thing is, it's gone, pretty much for the most part, and we can get in here. I just pushed all these barrels to the side. They can figure that out when they need to, but the main thing is that we can get in, so... Not too bad. I mean, in the past, we've had to dispose of a lot of fly tipping on our own ground. Gateways usually... Just that kind of stuff, but it's just so unnecessary. And you know, it costs money to get rid of that kind of stuff as well, which is the worst thing about it. So, you know, we have to, if we can't take it away to a tip somewhere, we have to get someone to come in and haul it away for us, and then that is the thing, and there's no compensation for that. So unless you start looking into insurances, but it's just so frustrating. Now, fortunately with that one, there wasn't too many materials that, you know, will have to be disposed of in a specific way. It was just hardcore really, which I think the guys said they're going to get crushed up and with the rest of any of the stuff that they have, so that's fine. All right, get into here. A bit tight on that corner. Oh, we're looking good. Perfect. Now this shed here hasn't been used for a long time. Used to be a farm, this. If you can believe it or not, there used to have some cattle in there, but I mean it's been a while. But yeah, it's kind of all just fallen into disrepair as I've crashed into something there. and then not really had anyone have any interest in doing something about it. But you know, I don't really think you could change it into much these days. Then maybe get some cattle in there over the winter or some sheep, but no, not overly sure. Anyway, what we'll do is finally get a little bit of mowing done. Not a big field, won't take us too long at all, but we can always get ourselves started here. We are in high. We're going to just bring that down to B. Alright, and C. Of course, we're going to go forward though. That would help us significantly. And then put that one down to there. It's the first real time we've had the mower spun up there. It's done a little bit of work in the yard, but nothing too much. Again, I thought we fucking... Alright, let's just make sure that's on level. Up she goes. Alright, and then folks, that really is the start of Silage 2024. We're away. Awesome, looking good. Alright, so like I say, very small paddock to do here. Won't take us too long to fly through it at all, but it's just nice to take another one off the list. Well, it's really a start the list. I've got a lot of mowing coming up in my future. Whether or not I do it all in this tractor or we maybe stick it onto the 5S, or heavens forbid, mine will start to work again once the fit has been had a look at it. But we'll see. The joys of machinery, I suppose, and we'll hopefully have that one back up and running soon. As you can see, the grass quality here isn't superb, but it's, you know, all we're doing is just tidying this up, really, keeping it under control, and then we'll get these bales stacked up, and they usually find someone to buy them and take them off the hands there as well, so that's all nice and easy. But yeah, all looking very good indeed. Not the biggest field at all, like so you end up once you get a few headlands off here, it's pretty much all done, but it's a good thing to do just to have a starting point, really. And then we're going to go back over to our farm at Moor Farm, and we'll get everything looked over there, get that little paddock done as well, and then yeah, it's just a nice starting point for us. All being well, spoke to the contractor the other day. We'll be looking at next week for chopping, so we need to get ahead on all the grass. I think at this moment in time, we'll probably start at Moor Farms because that's where the mower will be, and then we'll venture on over and up there. But all in all, going to be quite a bit to do. There'll be, oh geez, what will there be? Some quick math here. Best part of, I'd say, 100 acres all in. So it'll be a lot to get going with for a first cup. And then we will, of course, have second, and ideally, if the weather's kind to us, a little bit of third in there as well. That's the plan, at least. We'll see how well we can do with that. And yeah, as you can see, we'll do one round the outside to get a little bit closer to the hedge, keep that tidy, but pretty much just all looking good. Those roadworks have been there for ages, and I mean ages. Lord knows what they're trying to finish off over there, but a lot of money going into that. Don't think they know when they'll finish or how much indeed they'll spend, but they're doing something. That's always a good bit. Yeah, it's actually a bit of grass on here. With the weather we've had, there seems to be a lot of grass around everywhere. I don't think we'll have the fodder shortages that a lot of farmers have had over the last year at least, or it certainly doesn't look like it. Now that could all depend on if there is good weather for the second cup. Because if it suddenly gets baking hot, not much will grow, so that might be a bit of a struggle. But yeah, I think we're doing okay. It took us a lot longer to do this. I had about an hour of sitting around there doing nothing, which really I'm quite surprised was only an hour, to be fair. I thought I was going to have to come back tomorrow. The weather's looking good for the rest of the day. It's still cloudy over yonder there, but that should be the last of the rain that we see for a while, so we'll be able to get pushing ahead. And then, yeah, like I say, we've just got to get everything lined up, ducks in a row, that kind of stuff for chopping on next week. So there's going to be a lot of mowing to go ahead at. So we'll persevere with our single mower here, see how we get on. And then we will be all good, I should hope. A tough there that we'll get to as well. But yeah, just like that, one pasture down. I'd be surprised if it's even an acre, but we, you know, we do it every year. It's more of a tradition just to kickstart things off at this point in time. And then we'll let them know it's all done, and there's some bales stacked up for them. Now, of course, we have 2 telehandlers this time around as well, so that should make things a little bit easier with the newer, faster telehandler, the John Deere. Last year around having the old JCB, that was a bit slow to move things over with, so that should be a much bigger change and improvement. Watch that fence, someone knocked it in the past. That wasn't me, for once. Just like that, we're done. The first bit of silage for 2024 has been knocked down. We'll get the baler in soon, and they'll be looking completely different again. You join me in one of our first cut silage fields that has been raked up, which can mean only one thing, that the forager is coming soon, and that we will be very busy, which is good because typically it's looking very overcast and threatening rain, and it's going to rain tomorrow as well. So the hope is that this evening we will get going. We're in one of the fields to the south of the yard. The big field on the other side has been done with the one next to it. But we have had a bit of a secret weapon under our under wraps for a little while there, because we were always under the impression that this here wouldn't be enough first cut. Now, with all the other ground that we have around here being an arable, the grassland that we originally were going to have over at Moor Farm there, we had planned to use that, but we ploughed that one over as well. And also that's a bit of a long draw to get it all the way up into the pit up here. So we decided against that. So we needed some more ground elsewhere, and we have some. We have decided to, I've come around the wrong side, lease a field, or rent a field in a bit of a farm shared agreement kind of deal with one of our neighbors, and it's it hasn't had much done to it, but it also crucially hasn't had anyone grazing on it, so it's ready to go, and it has been cut, and with any luck we should see one of the big Rogers guys down there right now cracking along. So we'll find out. It is the field on the left here. It has been mown down, and it's coming on quite well, really. There's a lot of grass in there in places, a huge amount of grass actually. So it should be really good to see. My only concern, and it is a sizable concern, is that this is the only gateway, and I'm not quite sure what they're going to do about this, because, well, you've got to put a cut in there even in a in my defender, so we'll have to see. But regardless of that, as I come on in through the gateway here, there's a tractor in here in the rake somewhere. It's not ours. We always just let Roger do his thing with this. We'll bring over here somewhere, and there you go. I think you can just see him coming down over there, and we're gonna be in this way here. I just know we are. We're going to stick ourselves over by this pole. But yeah, so this is a field that we are very happy to have on board now, because I just think it's going to give us so much more grass here. There's a good amount of grass on here as well. It's looking thick, and we're getting to it just before it's going ahead as well, so there should be some decent quality. And that will mean that this really, with this field, with the 3 around the farm over there, we should have enough to get a good amount into that into the pit there to start with, which is fantastic. All being well, they are going to come this evening, but you'll notice one other thing. And this wasn't, this is not a good thing by any stretch there, but you'll notice that this doesn't really look like it's been cut with our 10-foot John Deere mower. In fact, it looks very much like it's been cut by butterfly mowers, and that's because it has. Our mower broke down on us as we finished the other field, so we haven't got anything at South Ely cut down at all, which is annoying because this was ready to go, so we have to get Roger in again when we're ready to go up there. His mower's going to come in, but we're holding off on that because the weather tomorrow is supposed to be pretty awful, so we want to see what that looks like. But with that being said, we've got the young lad on there fully kitted out, and he is going. The hope is that this evening we'll get ourselves in and we'll get the chopper going. We will be bringing you all that footage as when we can, but I've been told as well by Big Rog to expect a new machine, so that's going to be exciting. I'm not sure what that is, but we will wait and see. Ultimately though, nice looking crop there. It's quite dry at the moment, as well as a bit of a breeze coming around, but it's been down on the floor for about 36 hours at this point, so it's plenty of time to dry out, and we'll get this road up, and then yeah, we'll get going. Now it might mean it's gonna be a bit of a late evening. We'll just have to cross that bridge when we come to it, but it's gonna be worth it. We'll get it in, and then, well, then we can start to figure out what that's going to look like for us to get South Healy done. I would like to bring the slurry tanker down here as well, so when we start to do the work up at the top end, we can also start spreading slurry down here as well, because that is going to be something we need to get going with, so we can get some get a good strong cut coming off here as well. We have this field. We picked this up in spring. We didn't use it for anything. We just left it as it was. This is something that we've had on there purely for fodder work, really. So we'll be trying to get at least a second, maybe a third cut off here too. But it's nice and big, and it was it came to us at a good time, really. So That's exactly what we needed. We're going to get out of the way of the rake man here. We might bring the drone back over sooner and see what he's doing and how he's getting on. What we do need to go and do, though, is have a look at what happened with our mower. And I just want to make sure I don't drag any grass with me here and get anything wrapped up on the engine there and on the exhaust and probably start a fire. Like I say, I don't know what we're going to do about this. I don't know if we're going to have to be creative and get a gateway in the top end, because it's not safe to get big, what will be the best part, 20-foot long trailers in and out there, really. There's a footpath up here after all. But anyway, so as we're coming up here, we're going to go back into the yard. I'm amazed it hasn't rained yet today. It's always typical. We get like grass knocked down on the deck there, and it always immediately starts to threaten carnage. But anyway, that one is all rolled up there, looking good. And then we've got the small field behind the houses here, and the big field out back as well. So we'll see how we get on. We've got these little bales in here all wrapped up and taking care of the paddock there. So there's a few more for us. Only a handful, but it tidies that place up there anyway. And let's just, you know what? No, we'll take this up for now. This has all been go, go, go. This one was raked up first as well. So usually we only get 2 trailers up here because it's such a short draw, but we might end up getting a third one with that field down there, especially if it's going to take us a while to get in and out and all that stuff sorted. We'll just swing this around here for now anyway. Because what we're going to have to do is have trailers coming in around the pit here as well, around the tower. So 2 again would probably be fine for that. That field won't take too long to get through at all. Shut this gate over here. And then we'll be looking okay. We need to do a few little things around the yard at some point as well. Get some wool stacked up and taken care of. Get this slurry agitator on again, the separator, and then also get that cleared out. But as soon as we get these fields cleared, we're going to be on them. And we've got a lot to do. Now, with my Massey, we got on quite well. Famously, actually, we got these 2 fields out the back done. We got that one knocked down as well. But then I hit something. And I think I hit it in the far corner of the small field over there. That was the last one we were in. And underneath here, the mower bed is just twisted. And we've replaced a couple of bits already that we had spare. Some of those, I think they call like tortoise shells. They were done. But the whole bed is going to have to get replaced on this. So that is out of action for right now, which is very frustrating. We've done what we can, but I guess we're in the need of trying to get everything tied up before we get going. Where am I going to put this? Massey, by the way, still not going. Nearly back. Just waiting for one more set of ejectors, and then we're good. Go and ask. It's a long one, but no. The joys of machinery, as I keep telling myself. It will be good. It will be fine, and we'll get going. We're just going to try and swing this into here a bit more if we can. In fact, we'll just stick this around here. So I'm technically down a mower right now, so we'll depend. We're not going to get this fixed for the rest of this. We'll get it done for second cut, no doubt. But so down a mower, down a tractor, and we don't. I mean, fortunately, we don't have too much of this silage work to do until we get onto the baled silage. But what are the odds? We'll stick you about there. And what I think we'll go and do then is actually just knock you off. All right, and then as you can see, we lift that one up there. That's what we're going to be fixing very shortly, hopefully. Once we pay an expensive bill to get that all taken back. I am going to go and drive over now, and we're going to pick up the slurry tanker, so we can get ourselves ready to roll there as well. There you go, into gear. And then we should be good. Otherwise, we had a bit of a crop walk with the agronomist just the other day there. Everything is looking good. As good as we can get them, actually. They're nice and clean now as well. We had a bit of a discussion around the weeds coming through and what we might look to do for any direct drilling work moving forward. But ultimately, very happy with it. Very happy indeed. There's really not much else to report at the moment. We got the little paddock cleared up as well. So that was all fantastic to see it done and dusted. But yeah, really, we're just waiting. The big activity really will be when the chopper arrives and we start to get everything all set up and ready to go there, because that's going to be a big operation, really. Lots of big shiny kit, which puts ours all to shame, really. Now I wonder if, I don't know, I just don't know if we can get it done in time to get a gateway put in here. we might have to try something a bit outrageous. Because coming into here would probably make a lot more sense, actually. And I don't know why he's going that way either. I mean, that makes next to no sense to me at all. But that's the way he's chosen to go, and that's the way it looks like it's going to get raked up now. So maybe he knows something I don't, but that is weird. But I don't know if we can even get permission to put a gateway in the top there. We'll have to ask and make some phone calls and see if we can. And then maybe we have to replant some hedgerows. I don't know, but that is not safe going down to the village there. I know that much. So we'll have to see. But anyway, we're going to just take a little bit of a drive, pick up the slurry tanker so we're ready to go on this side. And then we will see what that looks like. So as you can see, there's plenty of grass up here. This small field won't be done, but these two fields will be here and the rest down by the village. We're going to see what tomorrow looks like in terms of the rain and see how bad it is, and then we can decide if we want to jump on, just get it cut straight away, or if we'll have to wait or not. We're trying to see if we can get some cattle sent away soon, some of the beef stock as well. Some of them are nearly ready. The price that we were quoted wasn't the best though, which is a little bit disappointing, so we'll have to see if that can improve at all. Looks like someone's about to start feeding up here, or getting ready to at least. Now. Yeah, so there's a couple of cattle in there that we can get rid of, and also at the satellite yard as well. There's a few that are starting to look quite good, but we'll have to see if we just get waiting for a bit of a better price apparently on that one. But it is starting to get to the point where some of them are 6 months old at this point, so they're starting to bulk up a little bit. But we'll see. We want to have a bit of a diverse range and age group, so when we do come and sell them, it's not all at the same price and same size, and some buyers want different things. So that's what we'll look into. Anyway. We'll just take this, and we're going to have a little bit of a cruise back on down, and there's really not much else that we could do at the moment. It's annoying because there's a lot of just waiting around for the contractors to arrive. You know, they're at another job right now. They'll be finishing up the pit work over there, one would assume, and then we've just got to wait and see what happens. The rake guy's usually not that far ahead. He's, usually held up, and the last time round had a bigger rake as well. But that one, for some of our fields, that's not the best, so they always bring the smaller one. Especially when they're over this side, but where we are, it's not going to work. We'll probably end up getting their big butterfly mowers back in again, like I mentioned, just to get everything taken care of, and we will see. But really, we're getting there. It's nearly time. Still don't know why he's going across the field there, but he's making some decent progress anyway, as the grey skies continue to creep in. So the public footpath goes along here. And so having, silage trailers rumbling up and down here in a bit of a rush as they always are, it doesn't sit easily with me. So I'm going to make a phone call, and we're going to see if we can whack out a bit of hedge, probably right up in the corner here. We should have clearance underneath that telephone wire, one would hope. On the power line, beg your pardon there. But if we were able to put something in about here, maybe, that would just sit a lot better with myself, and I think it just makes a lot more sense all around. So that's what we'll probably try and do, and then I guess we'll have to just wait and see. But I don't know if we can even get that with a telehandler, but I'm just not sure. We'll have to try and flex our skills there somehow and see how it looks. But yeah, ultimately that's what we're going to try and do this evening, and then we'll be able to get on going very soon. And it's just waiting around. That's all we can do. Busy time of the year when it does get going, but you've just got to wait for that the man who drives the forager to arrive. So it's just a short update really to see what we're going on with a few of the issues that we've had along the way before we even get to put a blade of grass into our clamp. But like I say, it should be good. The next episode will bring you all of the updates as we get going, as we'll have the whole team here, and then hopefully, even if the weather holds out, after a bit of rain, get South Ely taken care of and in the books as well. And then we can breathe for a little bit, start getting some slurry onto the field, and then start planning for the next step. So that's where we'll leave it for now, I think. Thank you very much for watching. I'm going to go and take the telehandler out and see if we can cause some mischief and get that gateway opened up. And then, yeah, we'll be onto Silage 2024. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of My Farming Life. I hope you're doing very well. You join me this evening as well. First cut is almost fully in the books. The pit is bursting full. It's going to get sheeted over there tomorrow. The contractor's machines are still in the yard here because they've got nowhere else to go really at the moment, because they're going to go over to South Healy tomorrow. It hasn't finished being mowed over there today. They're only going to get about 24 hours on the deck. And they are using their butterfly mowers to get knocked down because, well, our John Deere mower still hasn't been fixed. But this is some of the kit that they were using today, and look at it. It's just huge, a beast of a 970 Jaguar. A lovely 718 on one of the trailers carton, a Massey 8S205. That's a beautiful tractor. I would love one of those on this farm eventually. Something that size would be just superb, an absolute beauty. All pulling red rocks, all looking great with them on there as well. But the pick of the tractors for me, and the one I've tried to capture as much as I could, is this. It's a 728 Fendt. It sounds incredible when it's pulling along. And behind it, it's got the load and shovel there, which is a JCB TM 420S. That's a new tractor and a new loader there. So very, very nice equipment. Behind it is my Massey that still won't work. That's getting fixed hopefully tomorrow, all being well. So yeah, we've been busy. They've got cracking along there, as you've seen from the little bit of drone footage that I captured. It's all looking pretty exciting. Really, really nice equipment. They don't need a lot of tractors on this draw because it's not very far away, as you can see. But oh, it's just good to get going with it. It really, really is. And well, this is the end goal. It's pretty much all compacted down there. It's looking pretty good. You used to be able to come over here and look all the way over down to Bellum, but someone put a shed in the way. But yeah, it's from what we've cut down here, which would be these two fields out the front, the small paddock over the back there, and then we've only got about 2 headlands done from the field down the bottom there. The thickness of the grass on here is absolutely bizarre. I haven't seen such a dense crop on here in my life. So we got it all lifted off there, which was great. Really, really pleased with that. Grass was still in relatively good nick. Wasn't too bad. Hadn't gone to head yet. It was like maybe another week or so, and it probably would have, but we got it in. And as you can see, we're spilling out the clamp there. So that is great news. Cousin is going to be coming down with his tractor and baler very soon because, like I say, there's still best part of 17 acres on the deck there to bale. So we're going to have to figure that out. We might be able to leave it because that was cut a bit later in the day there. We might be able to leave that until tomorrow. The weather's okay overnight. And then we'll get the wrapper down as well, and we can get that all taken care of because that's going to knock out a lot of bales. So we need to figure out where on earth we're going to put them all. And ultimately, we need to figure out where on earth we're going to put them all and stack them up as well. But what we're going to do now, whilst we can, and it's not too bad out there, we're going to take our Massey. I can't get through. Ooh, maybe I can. Can I get our little 5S through here? I want to get a bit of slurry put out. It's good weather. It's good ground conditions. The tank's bursting full to go as well. Makes sense to do it. So we'll probably just... Now, can I get over there? Or have I been properly blocked in and have to go around and about? I know we can go that way. Cool. So yeah, we're going to get that. We're going to try and get a bit of slurry out of this tank here. That tower there is okay for right now, but it'll give us a good starting point anyway. So that is what we're going to do. And why not? It's been a busy day, but it's a good day. Things are working. Things are moving along quite nicely. I'm pleased to have got silage in and got that all, for the most part at least, all taken care of. Those bales will get taken there, and then the bales down here will get done tomorrow whilst Roger and his crew are over at South Healy getting that all in the pit there as well, because there's a fair bit to go over there. Once they do get going, there's no stopping them. Oh, we've had a bit of a spill there as well. That's less than ideal. Anyway, we'll have to get that tidied up. But yeah, once they get going there really isn't much stopping them. And that forager could just absolutely fly through. And given that he's pulling in huge big trailers as well. Oh, it's just, it's really quite impressive to see. But yeah, that's a done first cut in at least, which is great. Plenty of bales around here. And then we'll be on for a good, strong second cut, all being well. And then we can see what that looks like, because I really want us to be in the position to have an awful lot of excess fodder this year. Much more than we made last year, because obviously our numbers are increasing all the time. And we want to be in a position that we can be comfortable with that. And then furthermore as well, I have a sneaky suspicion that we're not going to be in for a very good second cut. Because temperatures around here are normally very cold for this time of year. There was hailstones in some parts of the north just the other day. So if we're going to get that, then it likely could mean that the second cut for some folks won't be anywhere near as good as they were hoping. So we'll have to just see. And hopefully that's not going to be the case. But yeah, I've just got a feeling it might be. So we'll make as much as we can. We'll have everything stocked up for our needs. And then if there's any left over, then superb. All right, but we'll take a bit of pressure off this tank here. There you go. And we'll just get straight on into the field and get it spread. We do have, at some point soon, aspirations for the dribble bar in here. That will be a plan for us to get going. It's not on the immediate to-do list there, but we are looking at a grant to help get that one taken care of, which would be awesome. But yeah, let's just go on in, and then we could be good to go. The muck that you see over there, you might wonder why we're not spreading that. First of all, that's doing no harm over there out of the way, and secondly, the tanks need to be emptied, so it'll be good to go. And this kind of dissolves into the field a little bit faster and leaves less marks as well, so you can, in theory, get going that little bit earlier with whatever the next crop would be. Okay, let's just dial down our cruise control there a little bit. That will be great. And we are away with the slurry straight on there to give this second cut ground the best chance it can have, which is perfect. Now the silage pit over at South Healy is significantly bigger, so it should be able to fit everything that we've got planned over there, assuming the grass is the same yield, which is just ridiculous. If it is, then yeah, it'll be grand to fit into there. Second cut up there will be bales, and then we'll be on with the hay after that. So there's still plenty for us to go out here. And we should be all good to go after it on our own after this. Baler should be fine. It's all being serviced up there. The mower should be getting repaired in the next few days, I've been told. But really, we're good for now. So there's no real pressure on that one. We can take our time. The tractor needs to get going. My tractor, actually, we need to have that fully functioning again. And then after that, yeah, we are all set. So by the time second cut rolls around, we'll be good. Crops looking good. Don't really need to be on the fields anytime soon. We're just letting the weather, the sunlight, and hopefully the warm weather play its part there as we start to get into a bit of a crucial period of the year. But we could I just don't know why it's so abnormally cold. So we'll have to see, and hopefully that will improve some point soon. And then we could go from there. Way back when, we used to do a lot of the old trail forage work around here with a trail on the back of the tractor, and it was so slow. It used to take days to get anything done, whereas here they've come in and they've knocked out before the pit was full there, like 60 acres without thinking about it. Done. Without a question. So, and it just doesn't make any sense at all to do anything other than that, really. So, and sure, it's an expensive cost, but if you get it right, you get the timing right there, you're good. Sometimes with the contractors, you're at their beck and call, really, you know, depending upon who they finish with or where they're at and what the weather's doing. But sometimes you want to get on, but they're not available, so it is a bit tricky. But we've been lucky enough to kind of plan it and make it work. So far, so good. And parts of that field there actually with the most surprising. There's a few bits left over there which could have been tied up with, but never mind. But some parts out here were just astronomically thick, and it's just because of the warmer weather that we had earlier on there, the rain at the right time as well. There's slurry on, quite a lot of slurry on these two fields actually, and it's just shot it away. It really has been fantastic to see. The slurry is going far here as well, actually. It's looking really, really good. All right, there we go. One thing you do notice is everything about the contractor's kit is just bigger. Like those trailers are huge, really, really well made, solid looking trailers, but everything is just bigger and better. You know, get more ground covered, get more jobs done. Really impressive. Some cost to it though, absolutely extortionate, no doubt. All right, well, we're going to keep on going here. We'll get this loaded up there. Before we go much further, though, we're just going to have a peek and show you what's left to do over at the field that they took the headlands off. It's not too far. We can go for a bit of a walk on over there. All right, that's ready to go. All this equipment will be moving out here in the morning, so we'll be able to actually move ourselves. But what we'll do... steal the truck here. Okay. So yeah, trailers were coming around the corner here, and then this field they've cleaned up as well. Took them nearly more time to get into this field than it did to do anything else, but this one's all being cleared. We'll get slurry spread on this probably tomorrow. And then down through the corner, through the road, we did put a hole in the hedge. We cleared out a bit. It was okay underneath there. We leveled a bit out, but it was nothing too crazy. And that allowed them to get in and out here as well. So they've been in and knocked out the headlands, as I mentioned. And then here we go. We'll stick some sort of gate up here when we can. And this is all that we've got left still. So we're going to see quite a scene of bales coming off here once we're all wrapped up. So I don't know where these are going to go, but a lot of grass left on here for us to go at as well. So that will be great to have in as a bit of a backup there as well. We'll probably stack them somewhere nearby. We haven't got space around the yard, but yeah. Silage first cut at least down at Moor Farm here is done. And we should hopefully see the rest of it wrapped up very soon as well. I hope you're doing very well. You joined us here as we are just up at South Healy because come up to the telehandler to pick up the bale grab. Silage first cut has pretty much been done and dusted. Uncle is out there with the bowser now trying to get some of the slurry out from up here. Got a bit of first cut ground to get on with, so we brought the tanker up from to do that. And bales are done, pits are full, pits are sheeted, and we're looking good. This one is looking a lot better than it was this time last year. It's not full, but it's very close. This is a big pit over this way, so that's not too bad. But we got everything done. There were the front field here, the one behind the house over there, and then one over the river, and 3 smaller fields over behind the woods there. So lots to get on with though, but we are all done and dusted, which is great. I have come up today in the telehandler because I need to pick up the bale grab here. Because I find this one a little bit easier and more enjoyable to use when we are loading bale trailers, which is what Bungle and I are going to do with the remaining grass that we couldn't get into the pit. Down at Bellum there was quite a large crop, so we got a bit to bale up there. But there's Uncle going. Sticking away up there, but plenty of slurry to get going with over here because the shed is pretty much full as it goes. So we'll get those slats emptied out and we should be good. And then yeah, really after that, grass can start growing again. Try and use a minimal amount of our own fertilizer and just use the slurry. We've got about half the ground done down at Bellum. The remaining bit will be done once we get these silage bales cleared, because we're gonna be driving through one of the fields. We didn't really want to do that whilst it was all there. So we'll just creep on through and we'll go and take a bit of a drive and we'll see how we get going. Now I have to say, without having the extra ground here, we'd have probably been in a little bit of trouble. Wouldn't have got quite as much in as we would have liked to there, but it worked out in our favor. So we've got plenty now. Got a handful of bales as well, which would be good. Second cut, we'll probably do a bit of both. We'll definitely be baling some silage up, but we'll also have plenty of ground for hay as well, I think. So we'll see what the conditions are like, see how the second cut comes along and see if it's looking good, and we'll be able to take it from there. But it's just nice to have the sheets on whilst the sun was out and not really get hit with too much poor weather, because I know a lot of people have. So we'll count our blessings as far as that is concerned. We're going to go up to the yard though first. We'll go and see if Bungle is ready to go. Hello there. And then we'll be able to get these all cleared out here. You'll see there's a handful in there for sure. There's a couple of trailer loads at the very least. But yeah, all nice to get those taken off there. And just got a chance to get the baler going, get the wrapper out as well on the 7810 and see what that looks like. I've shuffled a few things around in the yard, got Bungle's tractor all hooked up, ready to go. My tractor is repaired, it works. It's just not going to be on the trailer, but it is all done. Eventually we end up doing glow plugs on it as well as the injectors. So it's all ready and set, so that's good news. Finally have a full fleet again. Just as we're getting into busy season, so we will see how we get on with that. I need to get those small bales out of there as well, but once we get these all stacked up we can look into that one. But yeah, so that field there has been finished, so is a small one next to it, and then we will, like I say, have 2 more to do around here very shortly. But look at that pit now, it's fully sheeted up there right to the end. It's a heck of a scene of grass in there, which is really good news. Alright, but we'll just stop here for a second. But yeah, tractor's all looking good, and listen to this. First time. Beautiful. Absolutely superb. All done. So very happy to have that all back on track. So we've shuffled a few things around. Like I say, we've got a bit of space. We got rid of some tires the other day as well, so we have a bit more space to park machinery around here, because what we're going to be doing is where Bungle's tractor is, or he's already in there, that's where we're going to be stacking all of these bales, it seems. So that's going to give us an opportunity just to get it going and give us a bit of space. But we moved a few things around the corner here so we can tuck these the bits of the kit out of the way, just so we don't really run into too much space. And then yeah, we'll be all looking good. So I'm probably going to send Bungle on his way, and then I just need to move these handful of bales around so we've got space and we can get tucked in against the side there, I reckon. Alright then, you ready to get after this?
Aye, pretty much. Just got everything hooked up, ready to go. Beautiful evening for it, like.
Not too bad, is it? Not too bad. Sheep looking good out there. I'm going to get you to move. Go on over to the field. I'm going to shuffle these bales around, tie everything up down this end, and then I'll come in. I'm going to get you to move. Head on over. I'm going to tie the bales up behind you here so we can get stacked up properly, and then I'll follow you down. I think we'll probably just do it in a couple of loads. We'll not put anything too crazy on the trailer, and we'll just see how we get on. How does that sound?
Alright, that sounds good to me. I'll get on the way then.
Perfect. Off you go. Okay. Alright, it's gone already. Fantastic stuff. So we will just get this all done, and we've got plenty of space to stack here. This was never really going to be intended for a stack yard per se, but you know, here we are. We'll make it work, and then we can just get everything looking all nice and tidy here. Alright, and then yeah, we'll put them all into here. I think, I don't know how many we're going to get, and even if when we're going to use these, we'll have to see, because it'll be good quality silage. That certainly looks like it's going to be. It's nice and dry. Got some nice sweet smell to it, so it's looking good. There goes Bungle. Excellent stuff, and then we'll follow him down there in just a moment, and we'll get this all done. So we'll get these ones all tied up first, and then let's go and see what's in the field for us to get after today. It's looking better already. So, onwards we go. We're going to be looking to get quite an increased amount of forage on this farm for this coming summer, primarily because we are certainly increasing the volume and the quantity of cattle that we will be feeding. We're also going to be buffer feeding throughout the summer, especially if we have a summer like last year where nothing grew really because it was so darn hot. So if that's going to be the case again, we want to have ourselves protected for that. So we are going to be getting a lot of hay, a lot of silage, probably 3 cuts of silage if we can manage it, I would say, and we'll see again depending on quality, but off to a really good strong start there at least, which is fantastic, and we will see where it goes. The rest of the crops are looking good, really benefiting from this period of warm sunshine with the intermittent days of a couple of rainy days here and there. Really good growing conditions thus far, which always helps. Now where's he gone? Oh, he's in there already. Perfect. Yeah, it didn't take too long to get this going. We had a few teething problems with the baler just to get it up and working. You know, usual little first time gremlins for the summer. Into our newly created gateway. I think we will just put a gate into here by the end of it all. We'll take this one, shall we? As we're here. But yeah, nothing too crazy. I've certainly had a lot bigger issues for a start of harvest or start of silage, that's for sure. And then yeah, we'll get this field put into slurry. The villagers are going to hate us, but we will do this one as well. We'll probably do this last and just use whatever's left in the tank. The one that we've got to do, we're also going to be driving through. So we're going to leave that until we're finished carting these bales. I think that'll be the plan. Let's get that one a bit over. There we go. Like I say, we're just gonna not go too crazy. We're not going far with them. We'll just put one layer on, and then we'll just get this done nice and quickly. I think that should be the MO for the day. Trying not to burst any of these would also be great. There you go. So let us know how you're getting on as well. If you are in first cut there, was it disastrous? Were you managing to get through it okay? Was the weather on your side? Unfortunately, I think a lot of people, the weather was not with them. But we have been quite lucky. Got a cut in a bit of overcast conditions, a little bit of spotty rain, but nothing that was going to prevent us from getting going. And then it seems like, yeah, for the rest of it, we lucked out. Threatened to rain, but never really did anything else. Alright then, load number 1 done. Let's just get this strapped down and we can get Bungle to take his time back on over there. Wonderful stuff. And then yeah, we'll take one back with us and we'll get these all taken care of at the yard. Alright, and off he goes. Let's follow that man out. On the mission. We're just gonna take one of these. Take that one there. Excellent stuff. So we're not sticking too many on there. It's not really worth it. We're just going around the corner and back really. So we'll just stick a few on at a time and then see how we go. Sun's setting though. It's getting a little bit late in the evening, but we're all looking pretty good. You know, and it's nice to get this all tied up with. Bungle's going to go away for a week after this. So I'll just be left to kind of potter on, make sure we're all looking set. Which we kind of are really at the moment. We're all looking really, really good. And this is the last field that we'll be slurrying because we're just going to be driving over a bit. So we'll just, rather than drag a whole of slurry out onto the road, we will just take our time. And I think Bungle's probably going to block me here. How did that fall off there? What has he done? Alright. I'll need to get over here and we will figure out how that one fell off and get this all unloaded. I don't even know what he did. Get that to come off there, but he did it. So there we go. Yeah, this is going to be us really for now. Everything else is all done. Just a little bit of pottering on, and then the slurry will be applied onto the rest of the fields probably a couple of days' time when they're finished over at South Healy. And then we're all set. Then we move on. A couple of field jobs to do for some of the spring drilled crops there, but nothing crazy. And then we'll just be keeping an eye on things and hoping really that the weather plays into our hands and we can get a good couple of more weeks of growing conditions there, because if we do, I think we're in for a really good year. But we'll have to wait and see. We can only really do that. There's not much more we can do to affect it. Everything we can do is good. We did a crop walk not so long ago with our agronomist, and she's happy, so we're all happy, really. So that is going to be ideal. Right now, though, we are just going to continue to unload silage bales here and get ourselves set up for what lies ahead. And with that, we will bring you all up to speed next week on any new developments if we have them, and we'll see you then. So silage season is underway and finished for first cut there. Now we'll get second cut and hay started probably in about 4 weeks, I would say. But until then, not much else we can do. So you join us here this afternoon when, well, I am just here quickly to have a look at what's going on because I come up here with Bungle just to have a look in and see. But we today are going to be selling off some of our Aberdeen Angus beef. These boys are looking really, really good. They're getting quite big, they are as well. So we're going to be selling some off. There is a phenomenal beef trade right now. We sold about half a dozen last week, and we got just over £1,000 a head, which is phenomenal. So we're looking to do the same. Not bad for about 9 months on the farm when we brought them in there for a little over 100 pounds a head. So we're looking really good. So now is the time to get rid of them. Cousin and Bungle are just cracking on, sorting out which ones are going to take the best of the bunch, that kind of stuff. But yeah, they're looking good. We've got a lot to get rid of before, and then we need to get these sheds cleaned out, and then we can give them a bit of a rest before we start to get some more coming in. So we've got this bunch over at this yard. We've got the heifers over at South Healy, along with a few calves up there. Getting the calves out of there sooner rather than later. And then we got the bunch down at Moor Farm as well. But yeah, idea being that we keep continually circulating these through, buy them in young there when we can. We're going to be increasing our numbers, and then finish them and get them out looking like this. If we can do that for the mortal, then we are looking very good indeed. But very, very pleased with how they're all going. So hopefully more of that to come. They're busy sorting through anyway. I'm going to let them do that, and then they'll take them away to the mart. And we're in our tractor. We are working again. And the reason we had to come up here, well, we brought this tractor at one, it's a little bit faster, but two, the other Massey is not doing anything at the moment. It's broken down. We have not one, but two different tractor issues really. And from what it seems, like there are two issues with the 3125, both of which should be repairable, I've been told, and shouldn't be too expensive to do so. Oh, look at this. Actually, for a crop there, that's not all looking too bad. Let's have a quick swing into here. Ooh, looking good. All of our wheat and barley is just starting to be on the turn there now. We are early June. This is spring drilled barley here. That's a bit behind than we'd expect it to be, but we are looking pretty good there. We're about a month, 6 weeks away at the very least, but it's nice to see that everything is coming along. And we've got no hay ready to go. We've got no second cut silage ready to go yet either, but we're just in the process of waiting. So we're doing a whole load of little jobs like this. Today I am going to tidy up the more farmyard a little bit, because it needs to be done. But we need to go and get a trailer to do that, because we're going to be carting some muck up to here. Because we've got plenty of it down at Moor Farm, and there's just too much of it. Now with the slurry separator on there as well, it's getting a lot, so we need to get on top of that again. So we're going to bring up one of the old grain trailers from up here. Slurry's been spread up here as well. I think they've got a little bit more they want to do, but because the Bowser would be on the 3125 usually, we can't get it done. So we're going to leave the 5S up here for a little bit so they can get on top of that again. But yeah, here is the beautiful 3125. And if I just stop right about here, apparently it's working fine, no issues. And then left it parked up here one night on the Bowser. Actually, we managed to get that hooked off and dragged away, but then left it, and well, won't start again, won't do anything, which is great. It is two different issues that we apparently have, according to the fitter who's been out, and he'll be back again whenever he can to fix it. We've got an electrical fault, and then also a engine management fault, it seems, apparently, which is probably brought on from the electrical fault, let's be honest. But it's never straightforward with machines, regardless of the age, it would seem. So we will just have to creep on cracking on with that. I'm going to take the mast in here, because that's probably going to be the easiest to get on, he says somewhat confidently. Okay. All right. So yeah, we'll move this as well, because we have still been using a little bit of the silage up here. Since we cut our first cut silage, it hasn't been the warmest on some days. The sun's been out, but it's been cold. And what that's meaning is that our grass growth is not as good as it could have been. So just a buffer feed, really. We're sticking a few bales of silage out for the cattle, and hoping and praying that will be enough to keep them going. So we'll just keep following along and see how that looks. Everything else will be baled now, will be hay or second cut silage. Pits are looking good, nice and full. Pit up here is also the same as well, significantly better than last time. So that is rather pleasing. So we're already off to a good start. Haven't really checked on the arable up here too much of late, but we have had everything sprayed off at the same time as we did down around Bellum, actually, to get that all done and dusted. But that pit's looking much better. But yeah, looking forward to getting out with the combine now. We've all just got to kind of sit and wait. That's all we can do until everything's ready to go. But yeah, you see, that hasn't really done much. I think that's actually had more than one bit of slurry on there as well. It's been about 4 weeks since we lifted grass, so it's been a while. Definitely has been a while. But anyway, we're going to head on back down towards Moor Farm, where we will look to start getting a bit of a tidy up down there and to see what's happening. It is fantastic to be back in my tractor carting along the roads again. It really is so much more comfortable. And we should be looking good for the next wee while with this as well, I would hope. That is going to be the expectation at least. And then we're all looking good. That field is looking all right as well. It's got a little bit of regrowth, but like I say, could be better. Could be better. What is looking really good though is the linseed flowers at the moment. They are fantastic. Really, really good. Winter drilled crops around here, as you can see out the window. Well, not all too bad. Not all too bad at all. We're going to have a bit to run it there, that's for sure. Like we're still a little way off there yet, but we should be in the home stretch now until we come to desiccate anything. But we should be pretty good. We just got to wait really and hope that, well, light now is the warmer temperatures, really just to bring on the grain in the seeds there, so that should be perfect. But ultimately really that's where we are. Okay, so what we'll do is just zip on up. Like I say, we're taking away some of our separated manure and get that going. These slurry tanks on this farm have been emptied and it's been put into the lagoon, what's left that didn't go out into the field. And the expectation is now that hopefully we can just continue to get that separated in there. But you'll see there's a lot of muck around the place to get shifted and carted away at some stage. But yeah, it will happen. Now, before we do that, let's get a few things moved around here. As you can see, 5 bales of hay left here. So we are in need of some good weather and some haymaking. Looking into possibly getting a demo for doing that as well. That would be rather cool if we could. But we'll see. Still very much working on that one, and it's a pipe dream as it stands at the moment. But let's get this taken off. In fact, we'll just slip this around the corner. That's what we're going to be shifting today. Calves are looking good, looking well. And there's the rest of our silage bales all stacked up out of the way as well there. So that is all good. Expect to get a few more into there. Hopefully. Ooh, and we'll just shut that gate. I don't know why that's left open. Sometimes these sheep are rather timid. There's one beeline already. There's a straw, looks like they're going to fall over. But we've also got through quite a lot of straw as well there. We've still got a handful of bales left in the field. We will be making a fair bit of straw this year, I think. See how we get going with it all. It's not going to be all kept. Some of it will be sold off, and some of it will be chopped and put back into the grass as well. But we'll see. Anyway, let's just get this going here. So I really feel like right now we're in the zone with the calf shed here and the slurry separator. I think we're looking really good with everything. I'm just happy with how it's all working. Now, I wonder if this fork's going to actually work with this, because it is quite loose stuff. Doesn't like picking up too much. You know what? No. We're going to go for a bucket on this one. Oh, the bucket grab there at least. Because, yeah, it's just quite... It's very wet by nature there, and it's a bit sloppy. It doesn't really come through this anyway. So we'll get this all swapped around, and then we will get ourselves... So no matter what you do with this yard, there's always machines in the way at the minute, it seems. That feeder tractor is banging in the way. But anyway. Let's see if we can just creep our way around here. And then leave this trailer on a bit of a skew. Alright then. Perfect. Let's get ourselves loaded up here if I can get over. Whoop. There you go. Locked myself well and truly in there. And we'll load that one up. So this will be a few loads that'll go over. We're going to put it into the set-aside field, which is down by the river, and then we'll leave it there for a little bit before we look to come and spread it before we drill. So nice and straightforward. Clears a bit of space up down here. And then like we've also got loads of regular muck as well that we'll need to do something with. So I just need to figure out where we're going to put that. I fancy it might continue to make its way down towards Bellum Manor Farm, but we will see as and when the time comes, see what that looks like for us. So yeah, lots to keep going with over here. Everything else is just waiting, really. Waiting for the good weather to come and allow us to get some more silage cut. We will be continuing to take a few more livestock away as well. We've got a few sheep looking good. There's a few ewes I want to get shot off as well. I think Cousin's got 9 a few. Just from the age that they have, we need to get rid of them out of the fleet or out of the herds. And then we will be continuing on the beef movement as well. That's going to be a real big driving force, especially for our enterprises. So need to get that done and keep those the cash flow coming. That way we can keep the cash flow coming on in and just make sure that we pay bills, and maybe we can invest in more infrastructure, perhaps even more machinery down the way. Who knows? Okay, we just need to move ourselves away from here a little bit. Park that trailer a touch too close. There you go. And then we'll probably turn that slurry separator back on because it's getting full again, and it's probably getting a bit of a crust on it, which is exactly what we don't want. But there's so much stuff in here over a while there. It really doesn't take long to fill it up either. You didn't have the storage space for it, which is something we haven't even had this for a full year. So what I might have to be careful of is what that looks like for us during the winter months, and how often we put this on there, and how much space it's gonna actually take, you know, because, well, we could be in for a bit of a sticky situation. So we will have to see. Now I think that's probably going to be about good. But let's just swing this around here and we can take a look, see what we're looking like here. Oh, good enough. We'll take it so we don't make any mess. Quick jump over. Ugh. All right. So back on over to South Healy we go. Door shut. And then we can see what that's looking like. Got a few loads cart the way today. Figure out where I'm going to send some of that muck there and just get this yard looking a little bit more tidy for itself. As you can see, straw's getting a bit lower there now. We're back down to where we were pre-harvest last year, so that number will keep dwindling a little bit because we've still got a few cattle inside. So we'll see how that looks. However, time for us to keep cracking on. A lot of jobs that have been done around the yards and around the farms that aren't really field work at the moment, just things that we need to do. So we will just keep ticking along. Hopefully the 3125 won't be too much to repair, but that being said, I don't think it'll be much less than £1,000 minimum, so we'll have to see. But the fitter will come out and he will no doubt let us know when he's ready to, and we'll take it from there. But this has been the latest update. Like I say, not too much happening, but we will keep on keeping on anyway. And yeah, just another day in life when we're waiting for grass to grow. So I hope you're doing very well indeed. You join me as we're just doing a little bit of shuffling around the yard today. Few big updates, really. Few changes of direction, and some important business decisions have been made of late. So we're going to bring you up to speed with what they look like. But first things first, we're just clearing up some of the pallets of wool here, which are in an awful position to try and pick up. But c'est la vie. I think I've got that one this time. There we go. Yeah, so we're just getting this all stacked onto the trailer whilst we can. More shearing recently, so we're all caught up. Looking good. You get out the way there. Running over people. And you can move as well. But yeah, we've been busy. In the last episode, we showed you that we were starting to sell off some of the finished beef. And that's gone very, very well. Very well indeed. We sold 20 head by the end of the day there. With an average price for around, I believe it was £1,080, which is wild. Very, very pleased with that in the beef trade at the moment. So we've got about another, I think, another 10 or so with that that kind of age and that weight, and they will probably be going in the next week, which is great because it means it's a big cash injection at a time when maybe, you know, there's not too much else happening on the farm there. We haven't got any grain to sell. That's all long gone, and we're not selling any fodder off at the moment either. So it's really good to have that coming in. So that's good. And like I say, there'll be another 10 or so with that weight, and then there's about another 20, 25 that will be maybe another 6 weeks away. maybe a bit less depending on how they go. But ultimately, the future's looking very bright there indeed. And we're starting to really hone in on our finishing system right now, which is great because it's allowing us to really identify what's working and what we'd like to change, if anything, there, and how we can proceed. So Cousin's doing a lot of really good work with that, and we're supporting where we can. Things like this summer when we bring in our sugar beet, that will add and allow us to kind of get a little bit more in-house as well. So looking forward to seeing how that works out. But yeah, really big investment there, and we've used some of that for a bit of a change and a bit of diversification elsewhere as well. So of course, a lot of the time you've got to pay off all your bills when it comes to your cattle and the investment you put into them, which we're doing, and we are making a little bit of a profit there as well, which is great. So we're able to get ahead, but we're also able to diversify a little bit with something that came to our attention only about 3 weeks ago, and we had a decision to make about it, and it looks like, you know, based on what we want to do and how it's going to work, it looks like it's going to be very interesting actually. So we'll walk you through that one. The Massey 3125 is in the process of being fixed as it is. Mechanics coming out to it today, so hopefully by the time we get to making hay there, we'll have another tractor ready to go. That would be nice, because sick of broken down tractors at the moment. So hopefully nothing else is going to creep up with that one there, and it is just everything that we respect, and I think that's going to come into around about just before VAT, about 970 quid I think. So that's going to be a big one to fix, but especially for the age of that tractor. But we're not buying a new tractor anytime soon, so that can just hang on and wait. Excellent stuff. Pick this up. Price of wool at the moment is not doing too much at all, but it's better to get it sold to someone rather than have it sat around in our, come on girls, sat around in our sheds. So that's exactly what we're going to do. Where have you gone? Have you gone? You've gone. And that allows us to kind of move on and get that job ticked off. There's nothing much else happening at the moment there. I'm very happy with how silage is looking. Grass is coming along. We could do some rain if I'm honest, just to help with the grass growth. It's got some slurry on there, but we could also do with a little bit more rain. Temperatures to stay where they are. Today's a bit warmer than it has been, so that would be great if it could do that. Okay. Of course, we're into haymaking season almost as well, so we are going to be taking a demo of a new tedder going to be coming our way. Just have a go with that and see what we think of it, because that could be a big change up for us, which would be nice, and speed things up a little bit, which is all about optimization really and efficiency at the moment, especially as we continue to take on more and more ground and see what that looks like. So it could be a bit of an interesting change for sure. Excellent. Alrighty then. Get everything tied up a little bit there, and then yeah, we are all good to pop off as well. So we have bought a new bit of equipment. It is in the yard. We've had to finance it because it wasn't cheap, but it was something that we did quite hurriedly because this other opportunity came around to us, and we're gonna have a look at that in just a moment here once we get this all strapped up. We're not taking this away today. Not yet, at least. There's no plan to, so we'll just, that one's about to fall off. Maybe we'll just stick that there, and then we can give that a bit of a tap, shuffle it around a little bit. Alright, that'll about do it. I'm sure we'll be fine there. Excellent stuff. So we were able to clear out much of the muck around here that we were doing the other day as well. Quite a lot of loads carted onwards up to South Healy. Slurry separator is back on again. So it's like it's painting the 4th row bridge there at the moment. But yeah, we'll see how that looks, and we'll see what we can get up to with that. Around the corner, we'll just stick this into here. Mower's all finished as well. That's all working now. So when we do get round to next cut of silage, we'll be good to go. Stick that back on the floor properly. Health and safety man doesn't like to see it. Perfect. Okay. So yeah, what have we bought? Well, it's on the back of the 5S here, and it's quite an upgrade for us here. Now, there's a backstory to this, and we will very much get into that now. There is a local contractor around here who has been doing all of the contracting work for the local borough councils for verge trimming, hedge trimming, that kind of stuff. And he's done that for as long as I can remember. Has an old case 956 that he would just go around and keep just doing his thing, keeping on top of everything. He is no longer in business though. He's got to the stage where he's going to try and retire and see out the rest of his days. which is fair enough for him. So we were speaking to him, actually at the Mart once, not so long ago. Bungle went there with cousin, and he was mentioning that he was retiring. So Bungle, off the cuff, just asked if you are, what's happening with the business, who's taking over, and he said that he hadn't figured that out yet. So we have bought his, I guess you want to say bought his black book off him, his little book of contacts and his business. So we have taken on, in effect, some of the verge contracting around the borough here. So it's quite a stable, reliable job throughout the summer months. It will give us time where we've got to continually keep on top of the roads, spanning really from all the way down here in Belém, way up past South Healy. So we're going to be doing that. Now, of course, that meant that we needed some bits and pieces to do it. So we had a look into costs and finances and looked at some different trimmers. We looked at Bumford for one. That was too expensive. I think it was Mikhail. Did they do one? I think Bungle looked at that as well. Too expensive. So we ended up with this, which is an Italian brand, I think, or French brand by looks of things. And it's brand new. Looks good. Financed it. Got good financing rate. And it was not too expensive comparatively. We bought ourselves a new weight box in the front because the Rytec box I have on my Massey is just fantastic. And we wanted some more lights. So these have strobe lights on the front there as well, so we can make it nice and safe. Difference being this one, though, doesn't have quite as much weight as mine does. But overall, the 5S is going to be a nice little machine for this. And it looks pretty darn good, I find. So we are going to, well, we've got some verge mowing to do. And it's times like this when there's not much else happening that we can get some jobs done. And we can be pretty satisfied with it. Now, what that would look like as we get out and about, it will essentially be bringing in very similar rates to maybe if we sold an extra head of stock at the same price as we paid or as we were paid recently. If we sold an extra one of those every month, really. So it does have an opportunity to bring in quite a bit of money for us on top of what we're doing, which is great. So that should a little bit of diversification, a little bit of extra cash flow coming in. Obviously, some going out there with the financing on the tractor, on our mower here, but we were able to really, with some of the stock that we sold, it took us about 10 head of cattle were sold to pay for the business transaction, for the contact book, really. So we're good. We're now able to get going there, and we've met the manager from the borough council there who looks after it all on their side, and they're all happy, so we're happy, and we're gonna get going. So I am gonna go out for a spin in it soon. We've got everything else taken care of around here. It's all on joystick as well, so it's a little bit of time to get used to it, really, but it should be fun. So we are going to go and give it a whirl, see how we get going, and see what trouble we can find. So, without any further ado, on Bungle's tractor here, because it's a little bit smaller, a little bit more compact as well, when you do get into some of the tighter spots. And you just don't need it on mine. This is light enough that it's able to be handled easily on the 5S there. So we will just turn that away so we get away from there. Yeah, nice visibility as well, even when it's all folded up. And we had a few different options. The man we bought the business from actually was selling his all. He had an old Bumford hedge trimmer mower. And he had this old 956 there, but we just said no, we'll get our own stuff and we can sell that as well. So that's in a local machinery sale somewhere. But yeah, we'll see. Now what we might do is make sure we've got enough diesel here before we go. Oh, and there he is. Speak of the man.
Are you off already then?
I am indeed, Bungle. Yes. Gonna give it a whirl. Not go too far. Just get around. Maybe take some of the back roads. Actually, see how we get on. Start an hour lane, I would say there probably.
Aye, good idea. Looks good, doesn't it?
It does. It does. I'm very impressed with it. It's had a little bit of play around. It seems to work quite well. Have you had a go with it?
Aye, just a little one around the yard just to see how it works. Got a little bit of getting used to, but I should be grand.
Yeah, I think so. I'm going to fill up with diesel here and then get set off. Everything else is done. Wool's on the trailer. There's not much else cracking around here, really, to be honest. So we'll do this. And then Trevor's been in touch around the tether. I think that's going to come next week.
Oh, perfect. Perfect. Good. Well, hopefully we'll have some grass to go sooner, but there's going to be another week on top of that, I think.
Yeah, it's not really growing weather, is it? Anyway, I'm going to fill up and then we will catch you later.
Alright, sounds good.
It's a lovely looking bit of kit, this. I think it's very, very nice. Alright, diesel tank is good. And I'm trapped. Excellent. Alright, so let's get ourselves away. So we're going to stick some beacons on here. That should see beacons coming on the front as well. And like I say, we'll just start, see how we get on with this on our own lane here, really. Just because, well, there'll be less traffic. Be a good starting point now. We can just have a bit of a whirl with it and see. Okay, so let's just go down the way first. You know what? Let's stick some hazards on here as well. Hazards are on, flashes are on. Good, good, okay. Before we go any further here, by the way, as well, look at the flowers on our linseed. Just looking special. Really, really pleased with this. Looking like a good crop. We'll see how that turns out. And then over the way here, again, look at our oats coming through. Absolutely smashing it. Nice and tall there. Seeds coming in. We really need perhaps a little bit more rain and then some good heat just to really allow for the development of the seed itself, or the grain itself there. So that would be great to see. But really pleased with that clean looking crop as well. So we'll be interested to see how that goes. Anyhow, back to the task in hand. So first thing we need to do is fold everything out. This takes about a second, and it's going to swing around. Look at that go. Excellent stuff. And then we have it there. And then we've got all of our controls on a little joystick here as well. So we're looking good. Of course, we don't want to go too crazy, but let's just dial down that speed a little bit. Okay, and then fire it up. And we're away. Perfect. Let's just see how we get going here, shall we? We won't go much faster than this. That will be ample, I'm sure. And then we just got to look out for things like telegraph poles on this side, which is plentiful. Absolutely ridiculous. And what we might also get to do is use this on the footpath a bit as well in our field, because that is quite prevalent. Want to bring it in to get past there. Alright, excellent stuff. Well, we'll keep just ticking along here, but it looks like it's doing a nice job. When we get to the main road, we might have to go a little bit faster here. But there's a lot of telegraph poles along here, and very shortly, a lot of pedestrians. So we'll just keep taking our little time. Got that past there. Perfect. Okay. Well, it seems to be working okay, I think. Nothing's gone bang, which is always a good sign. Doesn't look like I'm too low down either, which is good. We've got just over a meter header on here, or bar on here, whatever you'd like to refer to it as. Oh, it's taking down those weeds there as well. Very nice. Good, good, good. Alright, well, we'll keep going. See what it looks like when we get to the end of the street here. But yeah, very pleased thus far. Very pleased indeed. And herein lies the problem. We'll just take our sweet, sweet time here. Footpath gateway there is a bit jammed up at the best of times anyhow. But gentleman here is having a walk, so we'll just let him do his thing. No one else on the footpath right now anyhow, so that's all good. But yeah, looking very tidy. I like what we're doing. Alright, so just going to move out the way for the folks here. Alright then, we're done. Anyone else come in? No, we go. Yeah, all things considered for a first run, that was fairly pain-free. Cars are coming here, so we'll just have to push back a little bit there. And then we'll just scoot past so we can get up to our right here as well, and then we'll be good. Road's going to be a tricky one. We'll have to figure out the best time to come around and do these. But that is a problem that I can figure out, I'm sure. Yeah, we will just go up to the signpost here, and then we'll be good. So let's see where this goes. But it's gonna be an exciting time for us, with a little bit of a different business proposition here and a bit of a different diversity for the farm. Yeah, excited to see what the future holds with it. So indeed, you find me in my Massey, and behind me, you might not be able to see, but I've got the big grain trailer on, which can only mean one thing. We are only moments away, well, probably about an hour or so away from starting our harvest for the year. So this is going to be big. This is going to be exciting. This is what we've been working for. All of the hours in the field, all of the sweating over weather, it's all coming down to this. So we are going to get it going. We're just bringing the trailer down now. It's a little bit early. It's a little bit damp out there still, so we've got to wait a little bit for that to dry out. And then we'll get ourselves going properly. But yeah, it's going to be the start. We've got a couple of fields of barley to do, and then there's some oats that aren't far away down here. And then a couple of fields of winter barley over at South Healy as well, before a little bit of a wait for the spring stuff to come in. Like I say, a few fields of oats, some linseed as well, which will be particularly interesting to see how that goes. But yeah, lots to get cracking with. Everything's growing again. We're not far off doing second cut either, just to add that into the mix. As you can see, the grass is starting to come back in there, looking good for having the slurry put onto it, that is for sure. But we'll have to wait a little bit longer before we can get going with that. And then yeah, what's going to happen is I'm going to drop this off at the field. We're going to have a bit of a walk over. We need to get the combine down, get the header down as well. It's all ready to go, but we just haven't got it here. So we're going to just stick the tractor and grain trailer in one corner, and we'll leave it there. And then the combine will probably start at the other side, and then we'll be all good to go. We'll have that shut quickly though. Sheep are doing well. Cattle doing well. We sold the last few of the beef stock that were about 13 months old. So we've got a few left to go that are still about 8 or 9 months. So we're going to hold on to those for a little bit longer. But everything else is gone now. And then that's going to be good. We'll get the sheds cleaned out a little bit when we get everything else out. And then we'll be good to move on. But anyway, we're going to park this down here and then we will see how we get going. What we'll probably do is just leave this in the gateway for now. And we can figure it out. That's stop about there. That's perfect. And turn the lights off. Beans are looking good, coming through, looking very strong actually. Really happy with how they're coming through there. And then this is our field of barley that we have down here. And this is, yeah, it looks good. If appearances anything go off there, it looks quite like looks a good crop. It's a tall crop, plenty of straw, and it's standing up well as well. But this really is just the giant gamble that we get into every single year. So standing in this field right here, up to date right now, before we've even touched it with a combine, we're looking at about 14,000 pounds in the hole, and that sounds like a lot, and it is a little bit more than normal because we're still factoring in recent soil samples and testing. But this year as well, we also applied lime onto here. We've obviously bought the seed to put into the ground as well, and a little bit of nitrogen on top of it as well there, which is at an astronomical price right now. So there are a lot of inputs in here to get it to this stage. So before we even turned the combine on, before we brought it down to the field there, the scales are very heavily balanced against us. So we really need to see a good average yield across the field here. Now, of course, if this does make the grade and it's not going to go into animal feed there, we do expect to get a decent price for it. We've got a good futures on this, so it's all been sold off already. So hopefully we can really capitalize on it. But we never know until it's in the trailer, until it's been weighed off at the grain dryer there. So there's so much that we have to worry about here, and not just across this field. Of course, we have a lot of fields of oats, which are due to go for porridge, assuming that they make grade, and then we can get them out there. If they don't, again, they'll go to the mill and they'll be animal feed. So it's a real big difference in the potential value of each and every crop there. It really is something you have to consider. So, you know, it's It's gonna be a stressful month. It's already been stressful watching the weather for the last 2 months. Really critical time as you start to see the grain fill up and really get the value there, and you want to get the high proteins in there and also the weight. But if the weather's not there, it doesn't happen, and you're really quite stuck. So hopefully we'll be good. We've got, like I say, a few fields around here. A lot of spring drilled crops this year, so we'll be stretching out our harvest, but. Big old field of oats that we're going to have just a quick peek into now as we come through the sheep shed here. And we'll just jump over there. Yeah, that's the one that's looking really good. Actually, the oats do look great at the moment. So I'm all fingers crossed that will work out very well. And then we can see. But yeah, there's a lot to be said for it. They're looking good. We got on top of the weed control very early as well. We were able to nip that in the bud. And it's looking like a good, clean crop. So hopefully that will continue. But as you walk on through here, they are looking good. They're not 100% there yet. Moisture's still a little bit too high. So we wouldn't get into those today even if we finish everything else. But it's coming. It's coming. And it's going to be, yeah, it's going to be good to see. Chopping the straw on this one, the barley straw, we will be baling off. And we'll be doing the same up the South Healy as well because we need a lot of straw. We're nearly out here and we are in a similar position up at South Healy. So we'll be baling those off for the cattle. And of course that means that we get to bring the muck back in there as well. So... we're going to be busy with the spreaders as soon as we can be. But right now, at least, we'll go and bring the combine down. See how it's looking, get it into gear. I think Bungle's going to do a bit of driving for me today. And I'm going to take the first couple loads over to the mill. Isn't that right, Bungle?
Looking forward to it. Going to get in the combine for a while. Should be good.
Yeah, it should be. How'd you get on with the verge mowing the other day?
Aye, we're good for now, I would say. Everything's looking pretty tidy.
Oh, very handy. Are we going to use that tractor to bring the header trailer down? Do you want to use the 3125 or what do you want?
No, we'll use the 31. Your uncle can bring that down. I'll give you a lift up.
All right, sold. Let's get after it then. Yeah, so we've been doing a bit of verge mowing. Everything's looking good on that side of things. This Massey's doing a great job on there. Actually, really do like it. Compact, agile, but with enough power. So very, very good. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. See where that takes us. I did think about maybe sticking 3125 on there at some stage, but Uncle didn't want to do that. Anyhow, let us go and get ourselves up to the top, up to South Healy again. We'll go and pick up the combine, bring that down, get ourselves away, and then we'll see how we're looking. Well then, we are sneaking through the woods again. We can't get across the ford, so this is the only way, and we are on our way. Uncle's following behind. He's going to go through the regular way, I think, and meet me in the village. And then we are set to go. So yeah, harvest 24 is about to start. You'll see there's a couple of fields up here that are ready to go. They're just a little bit behind what we have down there, so we'll get that one done first, and then we'll see how it's looking. Based on our projections and our chats with our agronomist, you know, we need to be looking at around about 3.5 tons an acre to have a chance of coming through at break even there. So because of the extra inputs we put in this year, and we knew that would be a challenge, but sometimes some of the ground we have down at Moor Farm there aren't the best. But you know, it's something that we were expecting there, but it's a long-term investment into the ground, so we'll see how that looks. And we have a lot more slurry and muck to put on this year as well, which will hopefully reduce down our inputs that little bit further as well. All right, and off we go. And there he goes, bang on time. Lovely stuff. This is where it gets a little bit tight for me though. It's not ideal around this little bridge. There we go, perfect. Excuse me lady, sorry, apologies. More off. Alrighty, so yeah, that's pretty much it. We'll get ourselves away. I would like to have thought Uncle would maybe give me a bit more of an escort here, but he's already gone, so no. And we will see how we get going. So we're gonna get everything hooked up, get ready to go. We'll probably still have to wait a little bit. We'll just check the moisture, see what it's at. It was at about 16.5 earlier on, and we'd like to be below 15 if we could. So we'll see. All right, through we go. And then we'll get on. You'll see we cut down the left-hand side of the verge. Right one's still to do. But yeah, we've got a lot of it done, which is great. There's a car there somewhere. There's a van. There you go. Stay with the road. Perfect stuff. And we'll be all good to go. We're looking to see. We're having a bit of a chat with our other uncle at the moment. well, my other uncle, my dad's brother, about the possibility of grabbing that shed to see if the current tenant is going to be using it or not. Because if they're not, I want to tip grain in there, so we don't have to cart it straight away now. And just to give us a bit more flexibility there, and also, if we need to, we could look to get a grain dryer in there as well, just to allow us to cut it when it's not optimum temperatures or moisture. So we can then be a bit more flexible, because right now we're harvesting it and it's going straight away to the grain store, and if it's not at good temperatures we get charged a fortune per ton to get that put back through the dryer, so we want to avoid doing that. Okay, so everything's looking all right, and through we go, I suppose. Nice and easy. And I hope he's just gone park in the yard so I can just get straight down the track first, but we'll figure that out. Excuse me, sir. I'm a-coming. Excellent stuff. Well, you can't miss me now, and I'm pretty much there. And then, yeah, we will see how we get going. It's nice to be in the position that we can go, though. We haven't got anything else left ready to go. There's no second cut ready yet. We will be mixing in a bit of hay into that as well, because we've got a lot of grassland for second cut there, and the first cut was pretty good, so we will make silage bales, and then we'll see how the rest of it's looking, and we might be okay, but we do need to make a lot of hay, so we need to get on that one, weather permitting. We're going to get a little bit of help with that this year, I think, by the sounds of things. Been speaking to a couple of people, a couple of manufacturers, and we might be getting a little bit of help with a demo or two, but we will see. That's not been confirmed yet. Oh, through we go. Perfect. What else was here before I forget? This bit's always a little bit too tight for my liking with this machine. The old combine, not a problem at all, breeze through it, but the TX is a little bit bigger. And then this shed on the corner as well, that's good. I want to knock that down soon. That's going to be my next project. It's only housing small old equipment that we don't use anymore. I did have an idea of keeping that fertilizer spreader, but it's going to go now. Hay bob can go. That tether, well, we might be looking at changing that soon if we can as well. So there's really no need for it. And then, yeah, that'll make all this so much easier to get through. Give us a bit of a better area to turn. All right, well, I mean, that was quite painful to get through there, but we're through anyway. We'll have to cut this corner a bit wide, unfortunately. Have any chance? Then we'll just have to full lock the other way. There you go, perfect. So we're gonna get ourselves all set up like I mentioned there, and we'll come back to you when we actually get a start, and we'll have a look into it here as well and see what the start of Harvest 24 is gonna look like. Well, Bumblebee is already set up, and the moisture's dropped nicely now, and then I think all it was really was just a bit of a heavy dew overnight, but we're looking great. So we will fire this up. We've got Bungle walking down the tractor over there, so we will get ourselves away around this headland and see how it's looking. Yeah, so it's gonna be a slower start to harvest. I'll let that gentleman walk around my combine before he's startled by the engine. Perfect. Yeah, a little bit of a slower start to proceedings, which is fine. You know, we don't want go from 0 to 100 miles an hour straight away. But anyway, let's just get ourselves turned on here. Looks good, sounds good. All right, well, away we go. I'm going to do the first couple of headlands here, like I say, I think, and then hopefully we'll have something close to the trailer load then. But if whatever we have, I'll be taking the first load away to the grain store, and Bungle can jump in as well to get himself warmed back up again for proceedings. But we are off. A lot more to do this year with the combine. Obviously all the stuff down the Manor Farm, we'll have to get that started, and there's going to be more again. I think we're taking on another 2 fields this year, which will come to about another 40 acres, I think it is, give or take a few. So yep, we'll be adding a little bit more on here and there, which is going to be good, but we've still got plenty of capacity here with this machine. It was bought for that reason, so we've got plenty of space. And it also doesn't cost us anything with financing right now, so that is good. We're not financing. The only things that we are financing still on the farm are the new tractors. After that, they're all, everything else bought and paid for. It doesn't owe us a penny, so we're good to go. Just the way we like it. Alright, well that was fairly trouble-free for the first time through. You love to see it. I put it down to the guy who serviced everything in the springtime there, but you know, I might be a little bit biased. So let me know if you're cracking on with your harvest as well and what you're hoping for there. Like I say, we will give you a full, or I will give a full breakdown review at the end of harvest to see how we got on. But really, every field is just a huge gamble. It always is every year. Farming is essentially just gambling with weather amongst other things. And so yeah, we'll see what those costs look like when we get to the end of the day, really. Once we got to the end of harvest there and we have official tickets for everything, of how much tonnage we've collected, and also at what price we're selling it for, and at what grade, more importantly, because ultimately not everything will make the best grade. So sometimes you have to budget in that certain crops will make just, you know, animal feed or a certain lower grade depending upon where it's going to, or it won't make milling barley to go into the brewery industry, especially for the spring barley. That's what we're hoping for this year coming. There you go. Doesn't that tractor look great on that trailer? Delightful. I think if we can find one, I really want us to trade in our other two smaller trailers for something of similar size. I just think it makes more sense. Bigger tires on there as well, a little bit more comfort on the road, air brakes as well on there, so it just makes a lot more sense to have those if we're pulling grain for a long distance. Now the only issue we may have would be if we got something that size, that it would be the 5S that would tow it, and weight might become a bit of a problem there, but we are looking to see anyway, because those old Marstons they're all on super singles and they're all a little bit old and they're not what they were, so we'll have to see, especially if they weren't designed to be pulled around by 50k tractors, that's for sure. So we'll have to just see how that goes. If there was an area of this field I'm going to be worried about, it's this little triangle in the corner here. It just never looked as strong. It looks okay now, but we'll have to see. Now from a grain standpoint it'll all be mixed into the same pile anyway, but yeah, we'll have to just wait and see how that looks. Oh, that's a good sign. That's a grain tank worn in. That's good. We'll have more of those, please. Oh, she is full. That must be at least 50% that one then. I'll try and get back a little bit as well. Think of the baler, man. Don't leave a giant pile of spots behind it. Alright, let's have a quick look here, shall we? Oh, well, we're not too bad. Plenty of space left to go there. Straw is looking good. Good amount of straw coming out the back there. These combines always do leave straw looking very nice. Very, very good indeed. But yeah. Alright, it's not looking too bad there. And so with that, we'll crack on and we'll join you up next week there just to see how we're getting on there and how the start of harvest is looking and see what else we get into. Welcome back to My Farming Life and welcome to the British summertime. We got a deer in front of me. We were able to get this field done. Started harvest 2024 off to a bang. And then it rained. And it hasn't stopped yet. That was yesterday. So that's knocked that on the head. So we're going to come in and, well, we've got some baling to do. But obviously the straw is soaking wet now. We're going to come in and shift this here header trailer with what might well just become my favorite thing on the farm ever. Look at this. Bungle bought this. I didn't really see the point of it when you first got it, but having used it, I love this thing. It just makes everything so much easier. You can just walk around and shift things without a problem. Move 3-point linkage, mounted machines, trailers, everything. And it just means if all your tractors are used somewhere, you've still got an option. And for days like today, sorry lady, we'll get out your way here. For days like today, when there's, you know, odd jobs that you need to do around the place, you can do them. It's absolutely great. Now we're going to take the head off the combine and just move the combine up there, and then we're going to stick it into the yard, and then yeah, we should be good. So, and there's a few small little things we do. We've got a new bit of equipment on the yard that we're going to have a look at, and then we have a few bits of old equipment that we don't really, well, we use one of them, but we're going to upgrade it and hopefully try and sell off everything else at the dealer to trade them all in to make the new bit a little bit cheaper. That's the hope. A lot of machinery movement this year. Wasn't anticipating quite so much, but it's working. We've had a good uptick in our beef operations, which is great. So we'll see. From a yield standpoint, not too bad. Wasn't expecting gangbusters, but it was pretty good. We took one load away to the grain store, and the other is, well, what's left in the trailer there is parked under cover because it's not a full load. So we'll wait to see if we can get a full load to take it and mix it all into one. Speaking of which, we're hoping... Oh, I need to move that forward a little bit more. Just getting used to this. We are having spoken with my other uncle and then the tenant who currently has some of the land down the more Bella Manor there. We should be able to get the shed for the start of our spring barley, which is pretty good. Because we have a lot of spring barley around the place. We can get it all tipped into one shed. And then we can even tickle it through the dry there as well, which would be great. So that is going to be fantastic news. And then we'll also be starting on some of the new ground down there as well. Now, what am I doing here? Okay. Just got to get this in a little bit of a better position so we can drop the header straight off. I'm hoping this rain will just give in soon because it's been ridiculous thus far. See, look at that. Can't do that with a tractor very easily. You can angle things in much tighter as well. We're going to be shifting a few things around the yard, like I say. And, it's just superb. Really, really is. Now, the combine. Combine went through seamlessly. It was a good little warm-up, really. Good chance to get a bit of a shine on the metal. And yeah, I think it did okay. And then just this blooming rain. There's only a handful of folks in the area who I know have got going. And then they, similarly to us, they got to start. And then they were done. We would probably have been moving over to South Ely anyway, just because nothing else is really ready down here. We've got a bit of winter barley up that way, but not a great deal. One would like more. Oh, that's already been done. Perfect. But it is what it is. And then we'll just, we'll hope and pray really that this moves away soon and this will leave us. But it's just day one of harvest. Come on. What are we doing here? We've got hay to cut down at some point as well. That's obviously not going to happen anytime soon. So we're just kind of at a standstill. Really annoying. Alright, so combine's going to go in that little stack yard. Out of the way. Speaking of out of the way. Move! Shoot! How scared the sheep are of me. Ooh. Another thing. Not a flinch. So yeah, let us know if you got on with anything. If you're going to get a lucky start. And how that ended up for you. Okay. And I guess we'll just wang it into the corner over here for now. Do it out the way. Well, friend, we have a good start. We'll see what happens. We're going to be using that trailer, so what we need to do is launch ourselves over here. Oh, just best thing in the world, this. Let's see what I'm like at driving forward with it, shall we? It's just, yeah, it's just easy. It's just absolutely easy. We want to be... Ooh, not that tight. We'll have a bit of a swallow because there's a few things I want to clear up a little bit of space for and just be a bit smart about what we have. Now, if I move that down, is it going to affect the handling? Oh, this is going far too well. Something's going to go wrong here. Let's just take it back a bit before we crack into that fence. There you go. Alright, so everyone else is away and busy. Bungle's out cutting verges, because at least we can kind of get on with that without making too much of a mess. And it still does a decent job with that flail mower. So he's out somewhere out west, I do believe. And then... Well, there's not much else happening, so I believe Uncle and Cousin are tinkering along over at South Healy. Ooh, not the combine. Let's not go that way. There you go. Okay. Alright, well, hopefully it's not going to be here for too long. But we'll leave it there for now. And then just unhook you. Alright, so. Like I say, I did mention earlier on there that we have got a new bit of machinery in the yard here. It wasn't something expected until it kind of came around by chance, I suppose. But it was a deal that we couldn't really turn down. Cost us a bit of money, but not as much as it could have. So we'll have a look at that in a moment. Fortunately, it's all tucked away in the shed. Could have been using it today, but here we are. Not going to happen. But There you are, perfect. So we're going to be shifting a few things around with this in a moment, like I mentioned there. So we'll just leave this running. But go and have a quick look-see. There's my Massey. Grain trailer is looking good. It's got about 6 or 7 ton in the back there. There you go. Lovely to have such a big trailer there as well. Very easy to handle everything that we need. And it's, I think that's what, 14 ton, I think it is, give or take. So that's about 21 ton off a, that feels not very big. I think it's only about 7-8 acres. So yeah, not too bad. There was an area that wasn't as good as it could have been, but yeah, for the most part, we're good. And here we are. We've got ourselves a new baler. It's a Fendt of all things. It's still in the Massey. It still works. We've had that all working and testing. We've just been looking over it, getting used to it. I say us cousins has been down here. And then getting some twine in there and net wrap ready to go. So essentially, this was it was an ex-demonstrator from Fendt. So something they'll use on their demo days and they'll have a look-see. And it is something that our bale is quite a few years old now. It works okay. We've put quite a few bales on it since we've owned it, only for about 2 years now. And a few issues coming into it. And a few more known issues with that brand that we may have seen coming soon. So it started some resale value. So we're able to trade it in. And then, yeah, we had to pay obviously a little bit extra for this one. But lovely baler. Very nice. We actually had a demo of this a while ago. Well, I didn't, but cousin and Bungle went off to a demo day where this was here, and they said they were very impressed with it. So yeah, we were able to get hold of it for a decent price. It's all plugged back in. And yeah, just a nice new bit of equipment there. So I'm kind of conscious that we do a lot of baling work, and of both silage, hay, and then of course straw when the need arises. So wanted to make sure we were a bit more reliable with that. Obviously last year we had a bit of an issue with our baler. It took some time to fix. And yeah, it's just getting a bit old. So this is pretty much brand spanking new. It's only had a couple of 100 bales on the clock. So really nothing, just essentially getting it going. But yeah, very nice looking machine as well. All we need now really. All we need now really is a little bit of nice weather where we can actually get out and use it. We're going to have to turn that straw over down there, I would say, before we're ready to go. Bring the rake down and give it a tickle through. But yeah, it is not looking too bad. So yeah, very nice. That's the latest edition. Now this Massey will, I'm climbing a little power hoe. This Massey will still be able to pull it and handle it okay. We've got the Monza set up in there as well. Cousin was mentioning he wants to look into overhauling and upgrading this soon, but I'm not sure if we'll upgrade this or keep this for like the feeder and the everything, and occasionally a bit of plowing, and get rid of the 7810, which would be a tough one to do, but we might. Especially because the Massey 5S now is going to do a lot of work on that flail mower. So there may be times where you just don't, where we're down the tractor really, so. But we could be a bit clever with that one, so maybe it's worth doing, but can't see it being this year. We'll have to wait and see, but. Now what we are going to look to do this year, oh, get over here, is we're actually going to look to, we're upgrading our header, all being well. We have a 4-star, 4-rotor, however you like to refer to it, Pottinger down here, and it's alright, but it's just a bit small, really. I want us to start heading out grass as well a little bit more for silage, so yeah, that needs to be, it needs to be a little bit bigger there with the amount of ground that we cover. My original plan for the fertilizer spreader here when we upgraded was to try and use them both. Not going to happen. Hasn't been moved since, so that's going to go. And then the old hay bob, I mean, we're going to tether for goodness sake, we don't need that, and we don't row anything up with that these days anyway. That is just here for nostalgia, I think, and my ultimate end goal is to get rid of a shed like this, so we all know where to keep it. So it's going to go, and so that is the next big step. So what that does mean is I get to play around with this again. So we're going to stick everything onto the trailer, and perhaps when this, once we're all done there, we'll take it away to the dealership. But yeah, we'll get everything loaded up best we can and see how it goes. And that'll give us a little bit, I mean, still have to pay a bit. These tethers aren't cheap by any stretch, but there is one that's been sat in the yard, Trevor's yard, for a while. So that's the one I think we're going to be going for. And look at that, it's on. Easy street. And now I can just pull her in. That's not coming off in the month for Sundays. Look at it. Perfect. And yeah, like I say, we might just shift a few things around because I can even put some of the drills and things into there and not have to worry about not getting them out with the tractor because I can just pull them out with this. And that might work out very nicely indeed, or maybe the spinner or something. But we got a bit of space and a bit of opportunity to work with here. Alright, so let's see what we can get loaded up onto here. I'm hoping we've got enough straps to keep everything tied down. I guess we'll find out. Okay. Slurry separator is back on again, or it was, doing a bit there. That tank's got quite a bit in these days, so we just need to keep on top of that a little bit better. Okay, let's just do this. This is still remarkably in good condition, actually. It's been well looked after. It's just a bit small. If I had another couple of stars on it, I would probably keep hold of it, but it's just not there. Alright, and so... is that one done? That one's done. The old hay bob. Yeah, I think that's us. So yeah, if the grass ever dries out and if it ever stops raining, we will be making second cut silage and some hay. So we need to get on that one when we can. But that'll be good to get going with at least. There we go. We've got it. We've got it. Ooh, she's a bit wobbly. And we'll get these loaded up there, get us taken away, and then next time around we'll show you what we bought, I think, because yeah, that'll get us, and hopefully at least we'll be well back underway with harvest there in a couple of days. But I don't know, weather's supposed to say it stopped raining late tonight, and then a couple of days of warm weather. But well, we'll take that with a grain of salt and see how it looks, I think. So we'll see. But for now, at least, we'll leave it here. I'm gonna keep playing with my new toy. And then we will see you all in the next one. So until then, thank you very much for watching as always. I do hope you have enjoyed. If you haven't yet to do so, please do consider giving a thumbs up, subscribe for more, and you'll see the next episode of My Farm and Life probably coming out at the end of the week. So until then, do stay safe, enjoy what you're doing. I've been Simulation for the Nation, and we'll see you all in the next one. Catch you later.